And you should be going.
And welcome back to Oasis Valley Mysteries. We have reached session 50. As sorry, people are being jokesters in the chat. But
As we do.
previously, as we have progressed along the business as usual arc, the group has been scattered about Oasis Valley, dealing or across Redemption. It's been focused around the town, dealing with escaped seemingly escaped endofauna, as well as strange homunculi, chimeras skittering and buzzing around town. As it seems, criminal activities have been targeted uh, by strange insectoid creations, as well as feral and eventually revealed to be cloned endofauna have been unleashed, including a mole tortoise that, after a rather messy massacre of a prickly pear batch in an agave field, uh, was subdued and taken into custody thanks to the combined efforts of some not OSHA compliant wrangling practices. But as it's progressed, contexts from certain people's past have shown up, uh, such as possible criminal histories for certain members, as well as children arriving and visiting in town for a couple of weeks. But as everything progressed, threads converged, and you all eventually gathered together using some magic gleaned from old Sue's. Carlos was able to take a piece of the mole tortoise found in the very beginning and piece them together with the other clues of the case to realize that everything has been seemingly set into motion by a single man as you glimpsed a vision of the mole tortoise itself, of a strange, pale, completely bald man seemingly giving silent commands to the clones on the Chimera. And we ended as Fred, you sent your kids off to the arcade to hang out for the night or for the evening. As you all got into your little convoy and headed across towards an abandoned construction field near the ordinary expedition. Oh, yeah, the ordinary expedition butcher shop, the original scene where the jackal lizards were wrangled by Hanzo and uh, Agent Wakefield, who currently is not present as she is off following other leads on her own. Hanzo, I don't believe you've informed her of this,
No.
but they left off with you all pulling up and seeing this not abandoned but long left to linger construction site near a hill where Hanzo you see what was once a piled mound of dirt now collapsed to cover the entry tunnel of the mole tortoise. As well as it was there were several construction equipment, bulldozers and the like, just lingering around with the heavy layers of dust that you can even see as it is now nighttime. There's not really light in the area except for some ambient light from a somewhat nearby street light. It's not the brightest, but it's not like pitch black. Few of you, that's not a problem. Tommy and Winifred, it's not really no issue for you there.
Yeah.
But rest of you, there are lots of shadows. You see what looks to be two cargo containers to one side, assumedly for construction or digging equipment, as well as one of the portable work trailers that you've seen get towed around to different work sites. Sitting there, but it does look like there is a light on the inside. So, how do y'all want to proceed?
I think
that's our ringleader in there?
No guarantee of that. Could just be a genuine.
Could be what?
Could just be a genuine.
You cut off at the exact same spot.
Work! Someone who engages in a trade!
Yeah, for some reason it sounded like you were saying it's genuine,
And
and
that's
then
it.
just nothing.
Yeah.
Discord
I
is
will
centering.
kill Discord!
So wait, but this is an abandoned working site, so nothing's been worked on here for like a while.
From the it's like one of those. It looks like they were clearing it to be a lot for some kind of construction, but then work either stalled or something happened where it's not like it's been here for years. It's probably been here for like several weeks, maybe a few months.
Okay.
Like with intermittent work, it's not like it was abandoned and just left to rot, because these are equipment that could still be used on other sites, but it seems like whatever was going on here just kind of stalled out.
Okay.
And it's
They
at
could.
the base. It's like the field, kind of like at the base of one of the small hilly mountains that kind of dot throughout Redemption.
Yeah, it could be. This place has got to have been left for like a couple weeks tops.
At the moment you are standing off to the side of the road, the place is surrounded by a chain link fence. You'd have to find a way through it.
I'm going to roll prepared. I'm going to see if
Okay.
I have just like bolt cutters. All right, there we go. How much do you hate me tonight, Roll 20?
Let's see.
Roll 5. Roll 20.
You roll a 5.
Are you... Roll, please.
10.
Roll.
10.
There we go. 10! Yeah!
Yep.
Oh,
So-
cool, I got it! Yeah,
Okay,
Olivia
yeah, so you have
positions
some-
back of her truck, pulls out some bolt cutters. I can open us a way in there. Should be quieter than climbing over the whole thing. Y'all good with
First
that?
thing, before we do that, I'm gonna look over to Winifred.
Mm,
You could probably slip in, right?
I can. What are you thinking? I don't know
What's
if
the
they're gonna.
smallest thing you can become?
A bat.
Yeah, you could just fly right over there if you wanted to.
If this turns out to be a trap of some kind, the best thing to do is to not show our entire hand, as it were.
I should point out. Sorry, I had a sneezing fit there for a second. Because you have been looking for this and you noticed this before, I'd say you're probably sniffing around for it. But Tommy, you do get that same. You do smell what smells like hunter scorpions have been around here.
Yeah.
Since you were in a pretty intense conflict with them, you know what they smell like now. So you're like, okay, yeah, you don't know how fresh the trail is, but it's still like they've been through here.
Yeah. We need to.
Not without like a closer look, at least. You want to
Yeah.
be.
Adding to us needing to keep our guard up, I can smell the hunter scorpions. And it is strong here.
There might also be some of those, what were the wasps called?
Strigoi.
Waspinators.
There might be Strigoi too.
Exactly why
There
I
might
think
be.
what we should do is not go in all at once. Because that way
Not a bad
they
idea.
they have eyes on all of us, and we don't have the element of surprise.
Not a bad idea. So, who wants to go first? Okay, we all know it's gonna be me, right?
I thought you were going to say Fred.
We'll decide that once you cut open the fence.
Right.
The question is, do you want to go up to the gates where you do see, a chain, padlocked chain is holding the gate closed, or are you going to go cut through the fence itself?
I want to cut through the fence because that's less obvious.
Okay, and there
And
is
as long
there is a little bit of barbed wire at the top. It's not like jailhouse thick, but there is just two wires up there of barbed wire just to keep you
Mhm.
Good thing
from
we're
falling
going
in and messing
through
with the
it then.
equipment.
Really glad we didn't climb over that, huh?
Now, I will say, just because it is kind of like backed up against this hill, the hill is steep and it would probably be kind of a dangerous descent, but there is no fence on the backside.
Hmm.
The hill's pretty
Why don't
rocky and bouldery, but
some of us circle around and start coming up that way slowly and carefully, while some of us go in through this way?
yeah, I'm not saying you have to do that. I just wanted to lay out the thing because there's
Yeah.
not really a map.
Hey, no, information is helpful.
How about I go that way,
Uh,
go around, because if I have to get in fast, I will be able to climb that shit pretty quick.
yeah, it's not as much of a problem for you.
Tommy,
Yo.
can you sniff around the area and keep it low profile?
As human,
Can
yes.
you be a hobo?
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always one.
Even if you are spotted, you appear as a vagrant. You may not immediately arouse suspicion.
Yeah.
You get a look from a look from Olivia that's just like a quiet, "What the fuck, dude?"
But he is a vagrant.
Yeah, which is why it's kind of rude to say, "Hey, you look like you're homeless," because you are.
My
Well, it
parents
would
are
be.
dead.
It would not. That would not work if he in fact was homeless and in fact did not look homeless.
Sorry, just the quiet. My parents are dead.
All right, Tommy.
Keep your radios on very low volume. Only use them if you have something important to get to the rest of us.
Oh, how is the group splitting up?
So was it Tommy and Winifred are going in, or is it Tommy is staying out along the outside?
I was gonna go around the other
think there's-
way. That's
Mhm.
a little rocky, because I can get up it quicker if I need to, but I can also, come at it at a different angle.
Yeah, if you fall, you
Yeah,
can
I'm
just
gonna
turn
go
into
in.
a bat.
Yeah, and I'm going to be cutting open the hole here.
What
Or an
Hanzo wants you
armadillo
to
and
do is
bounce
just
down
to
the
do
hill.
some more scouting.
Okay, so basically stick around on the outside.
Yeah, before we decide to go in, because maybe you'll attract or notice one of the chimeras.
Mm-hmm.
Because as
Be our
soon as we
bait.
get into the fence, we are in a box.
Boxing.
It's best to know what might come in before we do it.
Works for me.
How are you all doing this?
Oh, I'm gonna start cutting.
Okay,
I'm gonna turn into a jackal and start going around. Or not a jackal, a
okay,
coyote.
close enough.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna get used to that.
I'm gonna turn into an aqueous vapor and float into the heavens.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, your kids are waiting for you.
I was gonna come back.
I don't know if I can talk in animal form, but
Not
she'll
yet.
give you a look saying, "Don't do that." Because the only way that you would do that is if somebody blew your head off.
Or melted me somehow.
Reduced to a fine vapor.
A fine pink powder.
Todd Howard worked so hard to make those effects.
Oh god, Fred got misted.
He has become Mr. Clean.
No. So,
We have to kill Fred now.
Coyote's going up over the hill, and the rest of you are going up with Olivia to the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia's going up to the fence. I don't know if everyone's following her.
Someone needs to watch your back and keep an eye out.
Yeah, I know. I said everyone, not nobody. Everyone. I don't know if everyone's following me.
This isn't Oathbound Roads. Nobody ain't here. We only got us.
Oh my god.
Okay. While you do that, who is keeping watch? Hanzo
Yeah.
and Tommy?
Yeah.
I want the two of you then to do read a bad situation. That you're keeping an eye out.
Delicious.
Nutritious? Where is my rolling sheet? One moment. Read a bad situation.
Olivia, you won't have to roll for cutting through it because it's not an act under pressure situation yet. There's nothing menacing you.
Okay. She does just listen for a second to make sure it's not like an electric fence.
Nope.
Because those let out a hum.
Yeah. Winifred or Tommy would have been able to hear it, but up close you don't hear it, and there's no you don't feel that energy. So you're able to start snipping carefully. So success and a mix. So Tommy, you get 3. Hanzo, you get 1. Best way in, best way out. Any dangers we haven't noticed. Biggest threat, most vulnerable to you. Best way to protect the victims. And you can ask other specific questions too if there's something specific in mind.
Any dangers we haven't noticed yet?
Okay, so you don't smell it or see it, but as you're keeping watch, your ears kind of, they don't perk because you're not shifted at the moment, but you do hear fairly close a distinctive whine, a few of them, which sounds like buzzing mosquito-like wings in the direction of the work trailer. Not too close, but it sounds like they might be moving around. So you do know that there is definitely strigoi in the area. Then.
Oh wait, yeah, we found out that strigoi were weak to. Were they weak to cold or heat?
Well, you were told. Area of effect things work with them. So something that would be able to knock them out of the air, like a fire hose or something, or like a strong water stream would be able to. Flamethrower would have been one of the things. And
I have a flamethrower.
Yeah, Dr. Lucia, when she revealed that she's the one who created these, she's the topic of a flamethrower got brought up, and was like, "Oh, right, you have one. Please be careful."
That's right.
It's still kind of like one of her things. It's like, Why did I let you take the flamethrower? But
She didn't know I was an adrenaline junkie yet.
yeah, but they're too small. It wasn't recommended that unless you're using something with a spread effect like a shotgun, firearms probably won't work on them. Just because they're so quick and nimble that a human would have to be basically just a supreme shot of luck to be able to hit them with a gun. But so tell me, you have 2 other reads and you have 1 Hanzo. And you have a +1 ongoing to deal with the Strigoi as long as you act on that information Tommy has shared.
All right.
So if you're trying to continue hiding with them, that might act towards a roll. I just want to make sure we, you know. So
Best way in is what we're making. The best way out is probably through the way we came in. Dangers we haven't noticed yet, that's been covered. The biggest threat's probably the Strigoi.
And you can hold on to those.
Yeah.
Those holds for.
I might just do that then.
Okay.
I will ask.
I mean,
I will ask. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed yet? Like, can I?
Oh, that was the Strigoi, and you also previously did notice the smell of the hunter scorpions. So I will throw that in. Now that you're closer, you definitely smell them. They've been skittering around here, probably not long ago.
Okay.
There's that nothing immediately jumps out beyond hearing the Strigoi. No.
Okay. Cool.
That might change, when you actually get into the work site, but as Olivia's snipping through it, which by this point you'd be able to snip through enough of a portion to pull aside for everyone to slip under.
Sweet. Yeah, so do that. Look back at the rest of you, give a thumbs up. Alright,
okay.
Going in now? What's up?
As you head into this, Winifred, you're coming up on the hill, coming up around it. Coyote senses, you smell that there were probably other coyotes around here recently. Coyotes are all throughout the valley. But nothing really. You're probably the biggest animal on the mountain right now, from what you can hear. But as you circle around, you see the group kind of sneaking in through the side as you start coming down, and you can read a bad situation. Did Callie get up?
What was that?
Kelly?
I didn't hear anything you just said. No.
Oh no! Did no one hear me describe what just happened?
No, I just sat down.
I did.
Oh.
I heard.
Oh, okay. So as a coyote, you were going up over the mountain. There might have been coyotes around here recently, but you're pretty certain that you're the biggest animal on the mountain at the moment. It's more of a hill, really. But as you come around the side and see your friends start going in through the side of the fence, now that Olivia's cut a hole through it, you can read a bad situation as well.
Okay.
And if you didn't hear, well, Tommy heard Strigoi buzzing around, but that was after you slipped away, so. Mixed success. So you have a hold of 1.
Okay.
Best way in, best way out. Dangers you haven't noticed. Biggest threat, most vulnerable. Best way to protect the victims.
In this instance, I think it would be the best way in because I'm trying to find a way in without being, noticed.
Okay. And from your vantage point higher up the hill, because the moon is getting fuller, not Tommy, you're not in any danger yet, but there is enough like natural light, from the moon and from the nearby streetlights that you can see a path that slinks behind some boulders and some scrub brush that you're pretty certain no one would notice you from the ground as you go slinking down.
Okay, I'll follow that path.
Okay. So, rest of you go inside, you slip inside, and kind of crouch behind this pile of what looks to be like plumbing pipes. Like they were getting ready to dig and start laying down plumbing work, but now these pipes are just kind of laying there up in a stack, so you use those for cover as you look around. The
Okay.
work site, what's that?
No, I was saying okay.
Okay, yeah, the work site, you see 2 cargo containers off to the far side from where you're at. Near where you're at are several bulldozers and other like construction work. Backhoes and stuff. I'm not sure what the names of the vehicles are, but they're just kind of sitting there. Some of them have tarps on, others are just uncovered, and you can see heavy layer of dust just from the dust storms. And you do see like patterns of like the rains that happened a few weeks back. So these have been sitting here for a while. But then closer to the mountain, you see the work trailer with like scattered bits of other construction materials scattered around, like piles of plaster and stuff.
Okay. Any sign of the Strigoi or Hunter Scorpions yet?
Yeah, and Tommy, now that you're in closer and have a better view, going off of your question before and your roll, you see them. Probably be too hard for the rest of them. Their night vision isn't as good as yours. But you do see, for a moment, you think it's like, at first it looks like there might be hummingbirds up on the roof of the little trailer thing, before you're like, no, that's probably the Strigoi kind of just flitting up about there, like landing and then repositioning, that kind of thing. But
there they are.
What is it that he has spotted?
Strigoi.
Strigoi kind of hanging out on top of the rooftop of the trailer, the work trailer.
Alright. The thing is, I don't really have an equipment like that's good for this.
How well do you think? How's your carrying capacity, Hanzo?
It's giving you a look.
You heard me.
He's nodding as just go on with the idea.
I have a flamethrower. And you could use the flamethrower.
There's still only one, though. That's my concern.
I could check and. You should have said. Fuck! You should have said something sooner. I might have. I'm going to roll preparedness.
Do not whip a second flamethrower out of your backpack.
No. Fire extinguisher. Because I don't think that would hurt anything, but that might, knock them out of the air.
I don't know, maybe
Is that
there's
an
one
okay thing to
to
roll
attach
for?
the side of the trailer or something.
Dude,
You know,
do you want me to set them
We're
on
on a
fire?
construction site.
I have no clue.
Yeah, we are in a construction.
no, we'll get to what you said, Carlos, in just a second. But I would say that you've rolled for it enough times. I think you do have just like a small, emergency fire extinguisher for like car fires in your truck, because you've rolled for that before, and it was always in your truck. So
Right, I did. I've got a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, it's like one of those little half-size ones
Okay,
that
so
like people keep in kitchens or in their car. But what was that you said, Carlos?
Since I did,
Like, do you want me to set it on fire from back here?
No. That's way too
but
flashy.
since that was a thing that I rolled for before, and that's where it was. Can I just say I have it? I brought it with me from the
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
yeah, because I would say, because I think one of the last things we left off last time was the group getting prepared. And I think that was one of the things mentioned that could be useful because it won't hurt them, but it would probably like disorient them and maybe knock them out of the air if you get enough of the fluid, the chemical on their wings to calm them down. But sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you
Yeah.
off, Gray.
No, you're fine. You good?
Here, Hanzo. Probably won't hurt them, but if you spray them with it, it should at least knock them out of the air. Flamethrower's a bit obvious, but
If only this was an official operation, we'd have the proper equipment.
I mean,
yeah,
you
but we
do
also
have a
have
spell slinger offering something.
Yeah.
Hey. And if it works, it works. You know what I mean?
If it doesn't. Yeah, and if it doesn't, I mean, I've got a flamethrower too, so either way, fire.
It's not the fire that's going to be useful, it's the fact that it's going to be hard to dodge. These things are lightning fast.
Just tell me about it.
How does your magic work? Do you need to aim it like a gun?
I need to be able to see it, yeah.
So you see the trailer, it's very hard to make them out in the darkness because they're like above like any local light source, but you can sort of see movement above there. And I mean, you can see the trailer, so you're like, I know where the roof is. I'm saying Carlos could probably make an estimated guess if he's not going for pinpoint accuracy.
I mean, do we need anything in the trailer if we kill the guy?
There might be a guy in there. If
Yeah,
not
you do see there
guy,
is like a light on inside. Don't know if someone left it on, but the fact that there's a light there when this place has clearly been left to disuse for so long, who knows?
We just don't know yet.
We just don't know.
So
I mean, you could always roll an armadillo up to his door. That worked last time.
That would revolve the armadillo going upstairs. Which
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like slightly elevated off the ground on stilts.
which is going upstairs is not something armadillos are famously good at.
At least not rolling up them. They can crawl.
Hey, if Lagombi can roll snowballs up hills, an armadillo can believe.
But our armadillo's on the other side of a hill being coyote.
Speaking of, by this point, as they're all deliberating, Winterfred, you've made it to like ground floor, air quotes, ground level, and so the like blinds are drawn. All the windows are like you can't see through the thing, but there does seem to be, as you get closer to it, you hear the buzzing, the humming, the droning of the strigoi. So you're, I don't want to say what you do, but without getting too close, you're not sure if someone's inside there or not. Without getting like closer to like listen or, sniff around, but you definitely hear the strigoi now that you're closer, but you are still a ways back and kind of hidden. So it's up to you what you want to do.
I'm going to turn back into a person real quick and click on
Okay.
radio and say as softly as I can to Tommy because he's got the best hearing.
Go on.
Like, I am in a good position. I can't see if anybody's inside, but if I get any closer, the Strigoi might see me.
Okay. Winifred's in. She can't see without risk of the Strigoi seeing her, though.
I should have thought about that.
I'm
We
going
need to get the Strigoi.
Shit's gonna say, I'm gonna hold position here until you tell me what to do. Or if they go out of my range of sight.
Tommy,
So
Yep.
we need to.
how good is your aim?
Can people not hear
I-
me?
You're very
no.
quiet, Nora.
Okay, because I've been trying to say something.
What is it?
Okay, you're louder now.
I was gonna suggest, you could toss one of the radios, have that one's volume up by itself, and that might draw the Strigoi to it and
I
away
was
from
just-
us.
Going to suggest a rock.
That also works. But, we can't control the sound of a rock.
No, but you just
Yeah, you're
mentioned
not
there
a
was some.
radio DJ.
You mentioned there were some pipes, right?
Mhm.
We're
Rock
hiding
hitting that
behind
hard.
the pipes.
Are we behind the pipes, or are the pipes somewhere else?
Yeah, you're hiding behind a stack of pipes, but there are like other stacks of construction materials just kind of scattered around, like other pallets of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my suggestion was have Tommy pick up a rock and just throw with force so it sounds loud.
You are.
There are also the construction vehicles, and they do have glass windows.
Oh.
I'm again. I need to stop giving, trying to backseat play.
You're
Would there-
telling us the options.
Also, another question. Is there, like, bits of metal around, like sheet metal?
That's
Okay.
gonna be loud.
Yeah, you actually over by the cargo containers, there is like several sheets of corrugated metal just kind of leaning up on the side. The angle you're at probably won't be the best to get a shot at it, but yeah, that would definitely cause a ruckus if you threw a rock at it.
Okay.
And sheet metal could also be a nice makeshift shield if things get hairy with them.
All right. That sounds like a plan. You think Tommy is able to sneak that like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just moving like 10, 15 feet over to like get a better angle on it. Yeah, there's no like D&D map that we're loosey goosey. There's enough like scattered bits of stuff.
I also
Are you
imagine that
confident
Tommy
in yourself,
could.
Tommy?
I imagine Tommy could just yeet the rock too.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It was
Very strong.
yeah. You'd have to. No, I don't mean like getting closer to hit it. I just mean moving to the angle where you can see it, where you're not hitting it on the edge. You know what I mean? It's just the way it was leaning against these cargo containers. Because like you could
Okay.
throw it at the cargo containers. Those are probably hollow and make a good boom. I've hit those before.
I think there's something in those.
Probably.
We'll find out, because Tommy is gonna throw that rock.
I mean, containers usually contain things.
Would
Yeah,
you
I
say
mean
kick
something
some ass?
pertinent.
So you're gonna throw a rock? Okay.
Yeah. So kick
Yep.
some ass, you'd say?
No, that's simple enough. So you chuck this rock and you hit this corrugated metal sheeting, and it does that big boom. It wobbles a bit, doesn't quite tip over, from the from the force of the impact, because Tommy, you've got a strong arm. You're a lot of muscle packed into a dense little form.
I ate my Wheaties.
But yeah, there's you can appreciate it. The rest of them, their night vision's not strong enough, but you see a nice dent. You're like, yeah, that's right. But as the ruckus goes, you hear you look over and see the Strigoi instantly. Actually, no. You look over to the rooftop where the Strigoi are, and you see them buzzing around, but as normal. What
Huh.
seems they may not react to noise as much as what you see kind of skitter forward from the shadows where you hadn't noticed. You see a hunter scorpion lunge forward from what looked to be like maybe a hidden burrow that they might have dug as they scurry out in the direction of where the rock had struck, kind of circle around, tail lashing, pincers snapping at the air as they seem to be trying to figure out what caused that.
Oh, great.
It's better
And
let me know it now.
it starts to spin as you speak in your direction.
Oh,
Good.
shit. Wait, what? We were whispering.
As you see it's holding up not its pincers, but you see its two front legs held up in the air in this strange way before it starts creeping in your direction, holding the two front legs up in the air, almost antenna-like.
Like,
Is it approaching?
Oh.
Is it charging with hostility, or is it just? I heard something else. I'm investigating.
It seems to have been think stealth game where the guard has been alerted and is now like creeping towards the alert. Because that's kind of how I'm picturing this area. It's like a stealth game layout where there's a bunch of like chest high pieces of material you can crouch behind. Very very Gears of War almost.
So we need to move.
There's not really much else anywhere else you can hide. This thing's coming towards you.
I'm just gonna.
You have a decently sized group.
Yeah.
Can't report to base if he's dead.
Yeah, just gonna pat on fuck. Carlos. You're up.
Alright. Bada bing, bada boom, ba bang. Ba bang.
Are you aiming for the hunter scorpion? Or
the one with the antenna limbs holding up.
Okay, so you see this little. It kind of resembles a face hugger, kind of skittering towards you, the tail lashing. As Carlos, are you attacking?
Yes.
Okay.
Specifically, I am using.
And you get that's a 10 plus, so magic works without issues. Choose your effect. Inflict one harm, ignore armor. The magic is obvious.
Yes.
Trap a specific person or monster. That might be another thing. But yeah, those are like the two things that would, unless you have a specific. Do you just want to kill this thing?
My goal is like with a 3 harm fire. I'm just gonna boom.
Okay.
Is he dead?
Let me go look at their stats.
I don't know how much HP they have, but it's my base attack is +3 fire.
Does yours have like piercing or whatever it is that like gets past armor?
No. Magic, far, obvious, loud, harm, fire as a tag.
Okay. So how does your fire work? Or how does it look like as you attack this thing?
Like somebody shooting a bottle rocket.
So this thing started
We're going
scurrying
low.
towards your direction as you pop up, very shooter game, and just shoot your finger forward, and up comes this rocket of fire, and it seems to be like, huh? Just kind of freezes, not in alarm, as it goes and basically blows up half of its face off as it like skitters around, now kind of lashing around before it just um severely injured. Severely injured. Not dead, severely injured.
Does the commotion cause any of the others to come crawling out?
And Tommy, as your ears stop ringing from the pop of this little magic rocket, you look over as you see the Strigoi have taken to the air and now heading in this direction.
All right.
And you see about 3 of them.
Okay.
So,
Well, shit ain't quiet anymore.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get this started.
I do have food in my mouth, but to the Strigoi that
It's ready?
are around me, yeah, I told you can eat in chat.
Oh,
But
So- yeah, they took off and they're the ones heading towards the explosion. You hear the now familiar bottle rocket burst. Because Carlos, you disguise them as if you're using illegal fireworks, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Magic. So,
okay, I'm gonna go creeping up towards the window, down under the line of sight of anybody looking out the window, and I'm gonna listen to see
Okay.
what's in there.
okay. Yeah, the windows were all blocks, not like boarded up or anything, just the blinds are down. But as you go up to it and listen, you don't have to roll because vampire senses. You evolved to hunt humans by their heartbeat, and you do hear what sounds like 2 heartbeats inside.
Okay.
Human sounding heartbeats.
Anything else?
Not from inside, but it sounds like walking, because there was definitely that pop.
Oh yeah.
But you hear those sounds of footsteps inside.
Okay. What do you think, guys? Should I burst in through this window?
Wait for
Hell
them to
yeah.
come out, I think. Because you don't know what if you break that window. Those in the case they are civilians, they don't have a way of shutting out the fucking Strigoi.
That's fair. I will wait for them to come out the door then. I'll
Okay.
find the door where I hear their footsteps going towards and wait there.
Yeah, there's really only one door to this because it's like one of those trailer. But yeah, you go off to the side and peek around the corner where it is. You hear them walking towards. And the rest of you, there's a heavily injured hunter scorpion that looks like it's going to lash out at anything that comes near, and Tommy confirms that the Strigoi are in the air, buzzing around above you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I am,
Oh, roboting.
I'm cutting
Yeah,
my food
robot.
currently, so
Mm.
you two go. Everyone else go first.
Yeah. Fred, how's Fred
Alright.
doing?
Distracted, thinking about his kids. He's kind of just been following the group, whichever group is largest.
Yeah. It's like, oh boy, I hope my kids don't see me breaking and entering. Look
He's
at that
not-
scorpion.
He's not really thinking, and no one's really giving him direction, so he's just kind of puttering along.
I really should have had you wander off again. Darn it.
Don't worry, it can always happen.
Yeah. It's something I thought about the other day when I was thinking about the game. It's like, I need to endanger Fred some more.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that his kids are here.
He needs to suffer. It's what he was made for.
Oh, God. He is the O'Malley's child that grew up.
Mm-hmm.
I can attempt to kick some ass in order to spray the Strigoi with the fire extinguisher.
Okay. Yeah, that would be like no harm, but it would be.
And you said a +1 modifier going forward
Yeah,
from operating on the knowledge.
yeah, because Tommy was pointing them out. That's what the +1 10.
I wish to force them where I want them, which is to say on the ground.
Yeah, yeah, they don't have any. The fire extinguisher does no harm to them, but
No,
with
but I
that-
imagine it's the sheer surprise manages to coat their wings.
yep.
It'll
So
make them less effective.
as these, you are able to hit what you think is like 2 of the 3, but then you realize that it sounds like there might be more in the air. Well, you have taken out 2 that have that are now kind of like weakly trying to struggle in the chemical foam that are on the ground as you spray them as they try dive bombing around you.
He's gonna focus
That's big.
on. He's gonna focus spraying on the other ones from here on, but he's going to allow. He's gonna direct Fred since he's lacking direction. Klutzman, pulp them.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, you saw Hanzo spray these giant mosquitoes out of the air with the extinguisher, and now
You've
they're
got the
like
baseball bat,
on the-
right?
Yep. All
They
right.
can't run.
I'm gonna kick some ass.
do it, and this would have a +1, a 9.
A mixed
9.
success.
Okay. Yeah, so you are able to go up and Gallagher one of them. You go try to swing at the other one, but it is not like completely stuck in the foam. It can't fly, but it was enough to like skitter out of the way of your second swing. So you're just like Tom and Jerry and trying to hit this thing. But you did get the first one.
Yay!
I'm gonna flamethrower now.
Okay, yeah, they are in the air. Are you going after the Strigoi or the remaining
The
or
Strigoi.
the dying?
I have a grudge. I have a
Oh, yeah,
bone
fair.
to pick with these guys.
Yeah, they stole your blood.
So +1,
Which I'm
right?
sure they won't use for nefarious purposes.
No, don't worry. Not in the setting of mad science.
Wait,
oh,
how
what?
did... No, that's a 12.
Oh, it's because
Oh, I did the plus. God damn it. 12!
yeah, I think everyone's expression is that guy is just like, how do you roll a 0?
It's like, okay, 3 harm, close, heavy, volatile.
So, I think that's actually a 13.
12.
4 plus 6 plus 2 plus
Yeah,
1.
fuck the 13!
Okay. So what's the flamethrower?
3 damage.
Uh-huh. And
Is that enough to kill?
oh yeah.
Because
Yeah,
if
the
not, okay.
Strigoi effectively have 1 harm for HP because they're bugs.
Okay.
They're basically hummingbirds. Hummingbirds don't have a lot of HP. Sorry, Ventura.
Hey, shh. They're cover for ears. So like,
So
it's
yeah,
just gonna be able to. It's not gonna be able to hit me back because it's dead.
well, you get some of the swarm.
Okay, well, I suffer less harm.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to suffer less harm?
Yeah, I don't want to get bit again.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to fend them off with it as you see several of them, as you realize that there were more probably hidden around in like various nooks and crannies of the work site as they started to swarm them towards your group, possibly to overwhelm you. But between the fire extinguisher and the flamethrower, odd combination, you're actually, the two of you are providing a decent amount of area, air denial to these things. But Tommy and Carlos, you both notice that that wasn't the only hunter scorpion as you start hearing skittering from other parts of the work site as you know, and see flashing shadows of lashing tails and snapping pincers. But there is this one that Carlos, you know, almost took out. It does not look like it wants to continue fighting. It's trying to limp its way backwards.
Tommy
Not sure
is
if it would
going
actually
to.
live much longer.
Yeah, Tommy is going to try and tackle and take it down with a.
It's dying.
Weapon
Just
attack.
let it go.
You
Report
can,
back to its
spirit-
boss?
Yeah,
Good
why
point.
let it suffer?
You gonna
Good point.
spirit? Or
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and kick some ass.
Alright,
Hope this track isn't too like anxiety inducing for like,
It makes
combat.
me feel like I'm in Dawn of the Dead, like the good one,
ooh.
not the Zack Snyder one.
Funny, my brother was watching
Never the
earlier.
Zack Snyder one.
So a
Whoa.
6. Make sure to mark some experience. As Tommy, you go to stab it, and while it is severely injured, it's still in this fight or flight reaction where it manages to like lunge towards you, and your spear misses it, digging into the dirt as it goes forward and slashes at your leg, dealing. How much does a pinch do? Oh yeah, one arm.
Okay, cool. Also, I'll be.
Which I think your natural armor might actually prevent.
Oh, it does.
Okay. Oh, that's right. It was only the venom that was able to fuck you up last time. So, Carlos, kind of like back to your turn now. We're not really doing like a set turn structure, but everyone's had something to do since you fired on that one.
Ha 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 ha.
Ray?
I muted myself after it got up. It worked really well last time, so bada bing, bada boom. Firing off another quote unquote racket.
That's the highest you can roll in the game. So yeah, you see this thing go and try to pinch Tommy in the leg, and he kicks it off, and you just snap your fingers and send another little fireball, little fire rocket off at it. Sorry, I
Yep.
don't know why that was so hard to get out.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, it does that spider thing where it falls on its back and the legs curl in. So that's one of the hunter scorpions down. And Winifred.
Yes.
So as you see your group, you remember someone in the group, might have been you, might have been someone else, going, we should try to be discreet, right? As you see flamethrowers and magic fire being fired off in the distance.
She just kind of goes,
But-
whatever.
But as you're there, you're kind of hiding around one of the so the trailer's it's a rectangle, and you're hiding by one of the ends of it where the door is closer to that end, and you hear the door creak open as you hear this bewildered voice go, "What the hell is going on out here?" As you peek around, as you see that bald-headed man that you had heard Carlos describe. He's kind of standing there in the open doorway, looking perplexed at this commotion.
Okay. Was Carlos pretty sure that this guy was somebody to be taken out, or?
The way it was mentioned is that this guy was potentially controlling the mole tortoise. So he has weird Charles Xavier powers, like from that one cartoon.
X-Men?
So, yes. Carlos would not remember the name. He does not remember the cartoons.
I do not look like Mr. Clean's gay brother. Who thought that? Who thought
I
that?
thought that. Hold on 1 second.
But if he had those kinds of powers, he was going to be trouble no matter what.
Yeah, because you also in the vision beyond just the mole tortoise getting this weird compulsion to dig, you saw the jackal lizards kind of like walking in a line, just kind of like well-trained dogs.
Yeah.
At, you know, guys' silent commands.
Okay. So there's two
Yeah,
things I could
he
do.
looks pretty young. You'd probably guess like early 20s if you had to guess.
There's two things I can do here.
A baby
I can
child.
slam into this guy and try to knock him the hell out, or I could see if he's actually a threat or not.
What's the likelihood that the fucking shapeshifter took on this guy's face?
I would say since you were listening for it and you tracked him by his heartbeat, I'll just give this to you without having to, read about the situation or anything. There were two heartbeats in the trailer, and they're both coming from his torso.
Ah, okay.
Well, he's clearly something.
Alright then.
Fuck.
Which, this is not the first time you have heard two heartbeats in
Yeah.
a single being.
Nope.
Alright, guys. Do you want me
Or
to
at
throw
least it would
caution
be
to the
the
wind
first
over
time.
here?
Or at least this is only the second time because there are some endofauna that have multiple hearts. But this is the second time of a non-endofauna that you've heard, two heartbeats. Sorry, that was just me being pedantic about my own.
Use your best
lore.
judgment. What Winifred would do in that situation.
Yeah, they all seem to be pretty occupied, so this is up to Winifred.
Last time we saw someone with two hearts, it was Carnivac.
Carnivore.
Yeah.
Carnivore.
Carnivore.
So,
Carnivac is a transformer.
Yeah.
One of them wasn't hers.
and we're pretty sure that this guy is able to, control things.
Control these.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
if I take him out, or try to take him out,
Mhm.
yeah, she's gonna slam into him.
All right, kick some ass.
At least knock him unconscious.
Do I have any +1 forward or anything because I've been stalking him?
You know what? I'd probably because you did sneak up, so no one would be able to notice you. So yeah, he has no idea you're there.
We're more visible. Ooh.
Nice. 10 for kick some ass, so you got the extra benefit. Gain the advantage, take +1 forward, or give +1 forward to another hunter, inflict terrible harm, suffer less harm and retaliation, or force them where you want them.
Force them where I want them, which is... I want them pinned down underneath me so I can savage them, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so you're trying to pin them to the ground.
Yeah.
And you're still trying to do. Are you trying to damage him for harm or damage him to knock him out?
Knock him out, because I don't.
Okay.
I don't want to murder somebody who's, being used or anything. But I also don't want him to do any of this bullshit.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Didn't want to make any decisions for you. So
basically, I'm leaping on him, bearing him down to the floor, and then slamming his head on the ground to try to knock him out.
Okay, so you do this thing where you dart out into the light spilling out from inside. He blinks in total surprise as you just don't even have a moment to both feet on the ground. You just ricochet off the ground and tackle him with vampiric speed, this tiny little bullet of bloodlust. as you knock him to the ground. He's a kind of a beanpole. There's no weight to this guy as you knock him to the ground, and he's like, "What the hell?" As you grab him by the face and slam his head into the like linoleum of the floor. How much does your text do?
So
We'll just say you're like using your claws.
4.
Okay.
4. Yeah, it does 4.
So since he has human harm, he would be the equivalent of endangered. He's not wearing armor, so he's immediately like, he's dazed. You rocked him. He's just like, what?
And she's gonna like tilt her head back and make a noise, like so Tommy would be able to hear her. It's not like a howl or anything. It's like
Vampiric screech.
basically, yeah.
God, I'm just imagining Blade.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm imagining too, to be fair. It is the era of shitty 90s vampire movies, so whatever vampire noise that you think she's making, that she's making.
Yeah. I mean, I really liked Blade.
To be fair, yeah.
But, I mean, Blade broke the ground for the Matrix, so...
Yeah. Blade was Blade was fine. I like Blade.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But no, I get it. There were a lot of terrible 90s vampire movies. Especially after the Bram Stoker's Dracula, like, got people interested in vampires again, I think. But, so yeah, Tommy, you look over as you see, you hear the screech and you look over and you see, like, shadows of, people tussling. You would assume is probably Winifred from the screech in that direction. But, as that happens, the rest of you, Tommy, you'd probably be the one who would notice it just because you can... Well, no, the rest of you, there is now light because of the flamethrower.
Yeah, because there's fire.
You actually see the couple of Strigoi that were still remaining in the swarm that were above, kind of moving in this strange tandem, almost coordination. Kind of like seeing a starling flock, how the murmuration moves.
Yeah.
But now they seem to almost disjointed, just kind of not smacking into each other chaotically or anything, but just like
The formation's
cohesion-
broken.
yeah, the cohesion seems to be like shaken. And Tommy and Carlos, because you were the ones who noticed it, and Fred, not because you were trying to smack the one on the ground. You look up as you see what looks to be a pair of hunter scorpions that were both like doing the Velociraptor clever girl come at you from two sides thing. They kind of like, they were both like dead sprint, and then they kind of like falter and like not trip, but it's like, again, their cohesion seems to have left. They're still coming towards you menacingly, but with dangerous intent. But there seems to have lack. You know what I mean?
He is
Yeah.
Charles Xavier.
I gave you guys an opening.
Oh my god, he's the
Enjoy it.
gay brother!
So, for the moment, you have a +1 to dealing with the rest.
All right, cool. I shall attempt to kick some more ass to spray down the rest of the swarm to set them up.
Okay.
You said that was a +1 bonus?
Yep.
Would that be a total cumulative +2 from earlier,
No.
or just use a +1?
Just the +1.
All right. Mixed
That's still a mixed success. So yeah, you knocked out a few more.
I'll give a forward to my next hunter.
I'll, if people are alright with it, I'll just try and spray into the swarm again and try and take out what's left.
Yep, take out what's left in the air.
Take that +1.
Damn.
14!
So, yeah.
Not that you need it.
Fuck!
You might be getting a little bit of a firebug streak to you as you are just start to drop some of these drop the strigoi out of the air that haven't been doused with the fire extinguisher. The flamethrower definitely lighting up the area as you see several of these smoldering things fall to the ground. And the swarm has been vanquished, except for the one still skittering around on the ground, of course.
And that will be left for
I guess
Fred.
Yeah, I guess Olivia's gonna add fire decals to her luchadora outfit.
Like a bat out of hell.
How much forward did I get to add to my attack?
+1.
+1.
Yay!
Yeah, Fred, you have a... Yeah, Fred, how do you describe whack-a-moling these things as they're like...
I lift up my cricket bat and say, I'm going to say a word I've wanted to say for a while since my kids got back, but haven't been able to say because I got to be a good example. Get fucked! And then he smacks it.
Oh, also, I'm gonna use my high roll to get a +1 forward.
Okay, so it's pretty funny that you're using a cricket bat to squish mosquitoes. Gotta make sure to throw some giant crickets at you.
The locusts, here they come!
I mean, Dr. Apostu said she was in the field studying locust mutations. But that was just a cover story, you know. But so the swarm is dealt with. Fred, you are able to go mop up the rest of them, squishing them. It's a nasty mess with the fire extinguisher foam, but thankfully the bat is easily cleaned off.
Do any of them splat with human blood?
It's too dark and messy to really tell. There weren't any like water balloon sized ones, if that's what you're asking.
You're not reclaiming your blood that easily.
Yeah. Plus, you're not even sure how much blood it took. It wasn't like attached to you long enough to like drain a pipe from you or something. But yeah, there are still 2 hunter scorpions. Tommy, Carlos.
Yeah.
Is Shay back?
I guess I'll fireball it again because that's been working so far.
Take that +1. No, wait,
There's
no,
a
that was
+1.
only the swarm.
Well, that's fine. I still got a 10.
There's still the +1 to everything because Winifred shook the cohesion.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that would be an 11.
Yes.
So you get works as intended, no glitches.
Yep, so that's 3 harm to the nearest hunter scorpion. Just be like, nope, I learned my lesson last time. I was cautious with the gun. Never again.
Yep, and sure enough, this thing wasn't as intent as the first one you surprised, but this one was coming towards you, skittering, while still shooken, was still intent on going towards you. But again, like the other one, you hit it with this popping of fire, and you see the one of the stingers fall off as it's severely damaged. Let's see, Tommy's still gone, right? Shady?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, I hear a
So,
door.
we'll go back to you, Winifred.
Looks like we're reenacting the climax of Matrix 3.
And
All the fucking sentinels.
I do not want to kill this guy. I want him to be unconscious.
Yep.
You said I hit him for 4, so he's unstable right now.
Yep. The D&D thing of non-lethal damage.
Because I have a shock
like,
prod that deals non-lethal.
Yeah, and that's also how the tranquilizers work.
Yeah.
Which that'd be really funny. You just pull it out of your pocket and stab one of his 2 hearts.
I do have some. I just don't know.
That redundancy would be very useful for vampires, huh? Decoy heart.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone stabs that one.
That's
wait, now
Strizga have that in Midgheim. They've got multiple hearts, so it's not possible to incapacitate them with the stake through the heart trick.
oh nasty. But what were you saying, Skitha?
I don't think I have any of the tranquilizers, so I'm going to like start dragging this guy, but also I don't want to kill him, so I'm going to use my life drain instead of my other attack, which only does 2.
Okay, you wanna take a sip?
Yeah, because that won't kill him, because he's at 4, and I'll do 2, and he'll have 1 more left, and I'm going to drag him to the rest of you to see if you have any tranquilizers.
I have a shock prod that
I
might
do.
stun him.
Oh yeah,
Okay, so
I have actual tranquilizers.
And I'm trying to keep him dazed and drag him over there.
okay, kick some ass.
Okay.
I can't remember if, as a monstrous, if you use, kick some ass or a different ability.
I've got...
Oh, damn.
Alright. I've got Unholy Strength, yeah, I use weird. So,
well,
Good lord!
do you have advanced kick some ass yet?
I do not.
So,
Close
okay.
though, because I've been rolling weird, and I believe that's one of the ones that you guys gave me. Yep. So I just leveled up.
So, yeah, you go in, chomp around his neck, and you take enough where you feel like, because he was starting to struggle as the stars started to clear from his vision from that head slam, but as you latch out, he's like, "Oh, that's unfair."
Sorry.
No, that's what he said as he you feel the strength leave him as he's just like, he's not knocked out, but you drained the strength from him quite literally. He was already woozy and stunned from the blow, but yeah, you literally sapped the strength from him.
Okay, and I'm gonna start dragging him over there. If it makes any difference, I do have preternatural... the speed one that makes me faster.
Okay. So
I can't say that word out loud.
Yeah, preternatural.
Preternatural.
Preternatural, yeah.
I don't get. I have trouble with that one too. Shady.
Yo.
Tommy. Winifred is subduing the guy, but the swarm has been dealt with. They've either been burned out of the sky or hosed down and whack-a-moled by Fred. And there is one intact hunter scorpion and one wounded one that got scorched.
Oh, that one's still alive?
No, that's a second one.
Yeah.
While you were gone, Carlos hit one of the ones that was coming towards the group.
Okay.
But the original one, that one's dead.
Okay, good deal. I'll go for the Scorched Scorpion.
Okay. Kick some ass.
The Scorpion.
The next fire
Scorpion?
type.
Yeah, I was gonna say Scorpion sounds like a fire Pokemon.
There's Scorchipede or whatever.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep, Centiscorch. What the
Centiscorch,
fuck,
that's right.
gang?
So,
We are
We hate Mr.
rolling
Clean.
high.
and Tommy,
perhaps
Tommy
Will's
has beef with
rage
these
is
scorpions.
empowering us all.
Yeah.
plus Tommy has beef with these scorpions. They messed him up before. So, what's your damage? Pretty sure you'll have enough to take it out.
It's 3.
Oh yeah, This one, you're prepared for the awkward lunging, and so you fake it out and then lunge as it, and spear it down as it tried to dodge the first blow. And that one is dealt with. The other one is skittering towards Olivia and Hanzo. So Hanzo, it's like, yeah, there's not really a order. But...
Hanzo, may I?
Proceed.
I sling the flamethrower back over my shoulder. Let me roll. Or do we still get the +1, or is that gone now?
Yeah.
Yes to which?
No, it's still there.
Okay. Whoa! Ah!
Indeed.
Well, it was bound to happen eventually.
So
roll 20. Fuck off.
What were you trying to do to it?
I was gonna shoot it.
Okay. So as you pull your gun and fire, there is a click as because it's a revolver, right?
Magnum. It's a Magnum.
Yep. So they can't jam, but unfortunately it's either already a spent round that you didn't go, or this might have been a dud, but it clicks and no bullet goes off, and you're like, oh shit. As this thing launches at you, stabbing you in the chest with one of its pincers that then opens before so you take 2 harm. Minus whatever your armor would do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but now it is clinging to you, and the tail is arcing up, getting ready to stab you.
Help!
Yeah, you saw her get stabbed in the shoulder by this thing, and there's a gout of blood. Because these things stab and then open the pincers and rip out.
That's so gross.
Yeah, it's have you the Qatar punching daggers?
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a type that do that where you stab, pull the lever, and then it'll expand inside. It's nasty.
Horrendous.
But
I hate it.
Hanzo, you and Fred are the closest ones to this.
Yep. That I am. I guess
and then you just stare at her dying.
I'm gonna roll to protect someone.
Okay. Try to rip it off of her.
Yeah. Would that be a flat bonus?
Yeah.
Or +1?
Just the +1. So, mixed success.
Oh.
I'm willing for it to attack me instead.
So that was a help or protect someone. Yeah,
on
you
a
suffer
+7, you
some or
protect
all
them
the
okay,
harm.
but you'll suffer all the harm they're going to get.
Yeah, you go and grab some of its legs and like the base of the tail and yank it off. But the tail is nimble enough and more highly articulated than a scorpion's would be, as the tail is able to curve in this unnatural way to stab you in the arm. So you take the 1 harm minus whatever armor you have, but it is enough. It's not enough to like injure you because you have armor, right?
Yes, I do.
You don't take harm, but it is enough of the point pierces through the armor enough to stab you and inject you with. You are currently envenomed.
Alrighty then.
Which you would take 1 harm from that starting.
Okay.
You didn't take any from the stab, but you took 1 from the venom as it starts pulsing into your bloodstream. And it is now trying to snap and claw at you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fred.
Whew. Well.
Yeah.
I'm getting a workout today.
And you turn around from whack. Big success. Kick some ass.
Oh my god.
All right.
Good rolls.
What's your harm do?
That's a good question. What does a cricket bat do? 2 harm.
2 harm? Okay.
It's innocuous and messy.
All right. So yeah, you go up and smack this thing. Rearing up with the bat and then swinging, and it falls off of Hanzo. Some of the legs look bent and crushed as it falls down, but it flips itself up onto its remaining legs and snapping menacingly at you as it goes forward and lunges at you, trying to snap at your leg with its talons. Do you have any armor?
I don't think so.
Okay, then it does slash at your leg for 1 harm.
All right. Good.
Well, shit, I'm
But
gonna have
this
to buy
thing
you.
is
I'm gonna have to buy you armor.
yeah. Get you some. These things always go after your legs. You need to get some shin guards or something.
Some heavy duty boots.
I mean, the narrative reason is because these are small things, and they, going after legs is just what they can reach.
Yeah, isn't that where like it's a good
Yeah.
idea to wear really thick boots when you're in snake country?
Yeah, and why I appreciate depictions of giants. All their armor is on their legs.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
But so Tommy and Carlos, you see Winifred dragging this bald man over to the group, by the scruff of his shirt. But there is still this now slightly injured hunter scorpion.
Oh yeah, that's just Carlos is gonna look at it and he's
Jeez.
like, "No,
Nice.
it's just gonna stab somebody in the leg again."
Yeah.
Bless you. Jesus, damn.
Are you trying to burn it?
Yep, just like and cook.
Okay. And because of the harm that Fred did, you roast it.
Second scorpion down.
Watching
third
it,
one.
That's all the
Third one.
scorpions down.
watching it roast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the
Carlos
second
will
of the
turn.
reinforcements. Go
What-
ahead, Carlos.
Watching it roast, Carlos will turn to Tommy. He's like, "Do you think it's something I could serve in the restaurant?"
I don't know how good
I'd
that
try it
smells.
before you serve it.
Hey Tommy, you want to try it?
Ever so slight. Camera pans
sure.
ever so slightly to Olivia in frame, just glaring at him. She's, has blood in her chest.
The rule of the living: you have to eat what you kill.
The way
But-
these things smelled before they started burning, I wouldn't eat them.
Alrighty.
So- As
Uh,
the Strigoi buzzing has left the air, and you tense look around looking for more skittering hunter scorpions. No shadows. Seems to be calm. Things have fallen silent as. Hooray! I timed that
son of a
perfectly.
bitch, that hurt.
Oh, damn it! That was supposed to fade out. I forgot to undo the. And it's like, oh, it's gonna fade out perfectly, at the end of the combat, and then it just starts again. I forgot to stop the loop. Anyways,
Son of a.
yeah, your shoulders, you're bleeding a bit, and Hanzo, you feel the warm pulse of heat going up your arm.
Yeah. Olivia
Hey, you
tranquilize
alright,
him.
Hanzo? Alright. I'm gonna go over and stick him with a tranquilizer.
Oh, wait, no, not allowed. And he waggles a finger at you as you approach.
You don't get to tell me what to do.
Act under pressure.
Oh. God.
Oh,
Yeah,
As
it's
you
like-
you just feel this fog squeeze down onto your brain.
nice.
So you don't go immobile, but you just suddenly are like rocked as you kind of stagger there, kind of push it off as he goes. If you want to talk, let's talk. Oh, you have to drink so much.
How are you in my head?
I would be if. Oh.
Yeah, Winifred will look up from where she's still got her teeth in this guy's neck, like at Hanzo, like, should I drop him?
Oh, I didn't know you were like dragging him like a dog or a cat.
I have him by the shoulders, but my teeth are still like in his neck.
Oh yeah, he would have then reacted a bit differently. It's like, no, don't do that. If you're gonna stab someone, stab her. So you resisted stabbing Winifred with the tranquilizer instead.
Oh, okay. Shit.
It's lucky I don't just shake him to death.
Pick me up with his mind powers and shit me like a dog.
Fuck.
Hanzo,
Fuck off, man.
Should I drop him? She's asking, like, basically with her eyes, like, should I drop him?
Tranquilize him.
No.
No,
that's not gonna work. You want answers, they won't come if you try that.
Alright, then who the fuck are you?
Oh, that's a stupid question.
Now you're a stupid question.
Wow.
And he's just like pointing. He's just like pointing at where Winifred's latched onto him, just like, you gonna do anything about this?
I'm gonna let go, but I'm going to push him like down so he's sitting.
Okay. Oh, really living up to that stereotype, aren't you, Winnie?
She's gonna smack her lips at him and go, it's a terrible aftertaste. And she's gonna move over.
Yeah, he tastes odd. There is that weirdness. It's not like chimera blood, like you have tasted carnivore's blood. It's not like that. It's just something don't taste right.
7 of 9.
It's not like toxic or anything because
it's just not my favorite flavor of Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You hit yourself up with the anti-venom. Not enough to get rid of the one harm that you did, but you stopped the progression of the venom.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you fucking with the? Why? Who are you? First of all.
Like I said, that's a stupid question, Olivia.
No, it's not. How do you know my goddamn name?
I mean, you really haven't noticed? Oh, you really haven't.
She's gonna
squish them all.
Winifred's gonna look up at everybody and like tap her chest and then hold up 2 fingers like out of his line of sight, indicating that he has 2 heartbeats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh shit. And what did he say?
About.
What was the last thing he was saying? He was saying something.
Why do you know my name?
He goes, you really didn't notice my... And then he looks over to the... He goes, oh, you really had to burn and squish them all, didn't you? You look over to... As he looks over to where the Strigoi massacre is.
Yeah, nice fucking handiwork.
Thank you. Dr. Lucia made a wonderful toy.
Fuck off.
I would, but I think if I tried to leave, that might not work. Kind of glances over his shoulder spitefully.
Living things aren't toys, asshole.
All right.
Ask your questions, Hanzo.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Won't get much of a chance. I mean, cops will probably due here soon if their opponent doesn't get here sooner.
Yeah, that's the problem. My out of game, my brain is struggling to think. I was like,
Hey,
I'm not good
buddy.
at intimidation, or I'm not good at interrogations. This has been proven.
Hey, buddy. Listen.
Oh, Mr. Klussman, yes.
A lot of weird shit's happened
Yeah.
tonight. I killed a lot of mosquitoes. And you know, I got these two lovely kids. You got kids of your own?
No, that won't happen.
No, I got these kids, you know, and they're the world to me, and I just want to make sure that they're safe, you know. So.
Oh, trust me, Mr. Klussman, your kids, they weren't one of the targets.
I know,
Don't
but
worry.
you know, anything we can do to make this town safer, and I'm doing a manipulate someone on this, just FYI.
Yeah.
Anything we can
What's
do
the
to make
mix
this
assist
town.
for this?
I get him to do something, but I have to like offer some, you know, I have to offer some sort of trade in the process, or
And you're
accept
trying
some sort of trade in the
to
process.
manipulate him into giving more details?
Giving more details so that we can be safe, and you know, if you could help us, you know, keep the town and the people safe, you know, sort of stop all this violence, make a nicer way for the Oasis. I think we could probably let some things slide.
And what would you do to show you mean it as Fred?
You want to see my kids? And he whip his wallet and starts taking out photo.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
have an accordion wallet with fucking...
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, absolutely. Just really humanizing himself. Really humanizing himself to this person, and you know why they're here, to sort of diffuse the high emotions of the situation.
And they seem more amused than anything, not like touched or like, oh, sweet kids, but more just like, huh, sweet kids. But
I bet that tastes good with ketchup.
No, I don't mean that in like a creepy way, just more just like dismissive. But
Yeah.
they're like, I mean, you have me at your mercy. What if you have some good questions? Like I said, Olivia, I might be inclined to answer some of them before we're interrupted and I have to get going. And he like looks at his wrist and he's like, okay. Looks at a wristwatch. I meant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we should probably have enough time before the cops or player opponents show up and ship me away to one of their lovely black sites.
Well, I don't think we need to let that happen.
What's the rationale behind the targets?
Well, what do you think it is? You've been scurrying all over this place, Hanzo. You and Agent Wakefield.
I'm a busy little bee.
Yes, working for one of the biggest hives out there.
Were you trying to sabotage the reopening of the superorganism?
Now, see, that's not a dumb question. Perhaps. That might have been one of the goals.
Then why tip Sheila off and then try and kill her?
I said you were closer to a good question, not having a good question yet. And he just sits there with this, like, confident smirk, despite being metaphorically one, harm away from death, or, like, just being unconscious. And he got dragged like a cat's play toy across of...
I'm struggling to come up with good questions that won't be met with a dismissive. I'm not telling you anything, but I will look to Tommy. Check at the trailer. On it.
Okay, so you go check out the trailer.
Right.
Let's see. Investigate a mystery.
Okay, second.
Do I want to bring up Simulacra?
Do you?
Do you?
I do, but like, this is at the other players.
Will you?
That'd be a bad idea. I am
Nope.
looking to the other players for input.
Dang, I'm sorry, Tommy. Going inside, this place looks
Olivia's
it is very bare bones. Like, you open up some cupboards and stuff, and beyond some, like, snack food or, like, drinks and stuff from, like, a local area, stores from the local areas, it just looks like you don't find anything interesting beyond just, oh, this guy's been hanging out here.
Don't worry, Tommy. Olivia has a +3 to investigate stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, make sure to mark experience, though.
Yeah, just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just, once we're not occupied out here.
So, he does seem to at least open to some questions, but he's being difficult about it.
I think the first thing we need to do is relocate. If we're going to really thoroughly interrogate this man, like, we can't be at the scene of the crime, especially with all of you who are not members of Pluripotent, and he kind of knows your faces. He would just tattle about it.
Do we have anywhere to hold him? Oh, wait.
We need to get him out of here, and he did imply that someone else might... He implied someone else might be on his side, might be due soon to find him.
So, I don't know if this is, I don't know if this is...
Do you want to take Evil Charles Xavier to your zoo?
I was gonna say, we have a panic room that is protected from normal and mystical means, which I think means it's a fucking Faraday cage.
Alright, he will sick the emus on us.
Oh god, no, you're right, never mind.
Just keep them away from the hyena exhibit.
Hey, hyenas are big babies!
With the most powerful jaws of a land animal.
You know those things are predators, right? Those are very competent predators.
I think, like, hyenas have the strongest bite force, except for, like, crocodiles, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just remembered something. Hanzo, you told us about some kind of mind implant, right?
Nope. He has not told anybody about that.
But but thank you for reminding me. That's a good idea. So he's gonna bend down, tap the dude's forehead. Cerebral implant, right?
Oh, well, yes. Since you guessed it, why not?
I know how you. I understand how you can control the animals. They probably have implants too.
Mm-hmm.
How you were able to affect Winterfred is another question. Or Olivia.
Not Winterfred.
Yeah. How you were able to affect Olivia, I don't know.
Oh, that was a panic. Yeah, you have a predator chomp down on your neck as someone approaches you with a syringe. You panic.
So it's a knee jerk.
I'm being polite right now. Besides, it gives me a headache to use it on non-receptive gray matter.
Like I said, we should probably start dragging him out through the fence.
Yeah, I know. I have an ability that might come in handy. I just need to know what we need. With a psychic implant, do I know anything about that?
No.
You deal with animals.
Fuck. Yeah, I know.
This is super science.
This is like some
fuck it.
need to know confidential technology. The fact that Hanzo mentioned it out loud probably broke some guidelines of the, operations manual.
He's going to look to Carlos. Can you fry it?
Are we concerned if I fry him?
What's that? Where you said, Olivia?
Yes, kinda. But Hanzo, do you know how to block those things?
I don't believe there was something like when being told about cerebral implants, there wasn't anything about blocking them. It was just you can transmit and receive to a different animal. Huh?
One of the things they mentioned was, and Olivia, Lucia didn't mention this in front of you. But Hanzo, when things were meant, I think it was McLean who mentioned this, that part of the problems of trying to house the mole tortoise, if it still had a neural implant that could receive, is they were going to have to integrate materials to block it. So it seems they have something that can block it.
I just don't know what.
They confirmed that it is nearly impossible to track as of current technology that Pluripotent has.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
And I don't imagine you'd have a tinfoil hat in your fucking truck.
No, but I have something even better. If I knew what I needed, I have the woman with the plan that I save for the entire mystery.
Well, what does that do again?
Roll, spend a whole one.
We'll get back to the Carlos burning it out of him thing in a second.
Yeah, to be where you need to be, prepared and ready.
That's more. I really need to remember that before a session so I can actually get you to where that would actually count. Although I can't remember if I said that was you showing up to help Sheila, but no, she contacted you first.
Yeah, and that's something I get to choose when I spend it. That's not a setup. That's not a thing you set up for me.
Shit, yeah, this is one of those abilities that I always like on how to implement it.
It is a pretty powerful ability, but that's because if you fuck up, you get to fuck me up. On a miss, the keeper holds a 1, and they can spend it and put you in the worst place, unprepared and unready. It's gonna happen one day. You're gonna have that whole.
Unfortunately, I just don't think Olivia has the means to get this guy to a neurosurgeon.
Do you?
But what were you?
Oh, actually, you know what? Do you want to be away from Pluripotent?
Pluripotent? Well, yeah, I would prefer not. I'm not. Oh, you think I work for them? How cute. No. I want to work with those weirdos. Jeez. Can you imagine? No. I'm not going to tell you who I work for, but no. It's not Simulacra. It's not some secret shadowy branch of Pluripotent. Although that would have been fun to mislead you, but I'm out of respect for Fred's adorable kids, I'm going to tell you that no, I do not work for Simulacra or Pluripotent.
Okay. We can't help you if you don't give us something to work with.
Oh, you can't help me. Oh.
You don't know that.
I mean, I'm sure you could try things that might help me, but I'm saying you won't get the chance to help me for reasons, but you still have some time for your questions.
Trying to think of good questions is hard. I famously bungled another interrogation.
Well, there was you started to ask Carlos about something?
Whether or not it was possible to fry the mental implant, but as Carlos said, do you care about me frying his brain too?
Yeah, that's a precision surgical thing. Burning it probably won't. Magic, who knows? There might be.
That's what I meant with the magic.
Yeah, Carlos, there might be an avenue you could pursue if you think of a creative way to use magic. But
yeah, well, that's why I asked how upset are we if I fry him?
Yeah, because there will be trying to cast magic on someone else. There is always that chance of a glitch happening.
And he is only at 1 HP.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's holding.
I mean, if we don't care, I'll do it. I'll roll a use magic. It's been rolling great for me so far, so it's only gonna like come in and kick my ass now.
Also, if anybody can like stabilize this guy, you probably should before he just keels over and dies.
That's a good point.
He is unstable at the moment.
Is that? No.
Fred wouldn't say this, but I would like to say this as a counterpoint. This guy is kind of a douchebag, though.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've been trying for that.
Like, is it the worst if he dies mid-interrogation?
Someone wants to staunch the bite wound on his neck.
The bite wound of 87.
No.
If nobody else does it, Winifred will. She's like, I'm not just gonna.
Okay, you
He doesn't want to kill a guy.
patch his wound. I'll fry his brain.
Don't worry, you won't have to. You'll have to get in line for that, I think. But so you like staunch the blood, and he goes, "Yeah, I was gonna say you were kind of a messy eater there. You didn't clean up after yourself."
Why do you? I've been messier.
Oh, I'm sure.
See me when I first started doing
You're
this.
lucky that's all you did.
You took me down way too easily to be a fresh. But then again, your records were really confusing to get trying to dig up.
Good. I've been doing a good job then. Before I was pluriport and shit. It was really hard to be a vampire and not die.
You guys think of something to deal with this guy. I want to go check out the cabin.
I'm gonna just roll a use magic to try to fry the computer chip in his brain.
Oh boy.
I have a built-in
brain
thing.
in his computer chip.
I have a built-in thing that I can go if it fails, where I can instead of it going out of control, I can just have it fizzle. So it's not like he'll die if I fail. But I'm not gonna tell him that. He's an asshole.
I thought we were looking at like a scanner situation.
I mean, that was. I mean, depending on how badly, if Carlos rolled like horribly, that might have been an option. Might have been on the table.
Oh, we want to see what's in his brain. Okay, I thought we were just like, okay, no more psychic powers for you, sir.
So,
I mean, yeah, that we want to turn off his psychic powers.
Yeah, so Carlos, are you looking towards him with this intent in your mind?
Oh yeah, I was like,
his eyes split to you and he goes, "That's not gonna work, Carlos. You want moss on your ass even more?"
What the fuck?
And when he makes eye contact with you, so you're trying to
just an immediate
disable his psychic connection.
Thumb on the forehead, hands around his skull like a Faraday cage.
Yeah, and he's just looking up at you as you do this.
And it's like, so Carlos doesn't use the electrical magic as much. He's not as proficient with it. So it's not enough voltage to fry the brain or potentially lose memory, but it's enough that he'll be able to sense where the chip is, or whatever board is in his head.
You're basically doing like a magic MRI kind of.
Magic MRI, and then once found, just like a little bit harder in the board.
Yeah, it's like much as you would learn if Hanzo, as much as Hanzo had learned from Dr. Pastu, this is like deep, almost dead center of the brain. I don't know the specific parts of the brain, but it is in there deep. And as you're probing, you realize, I don't know if you've done this to many people, but you have had senses. This is not the first psychic you've met.
Nope.
in your long life and experience, but he definitely has that altered physicality that you've sort of expected the psychic to have. And it is not just. So here's the thing. You're looking for a chip or like a control organ as it was described by Hanzo.
Yes.
It is not the only one in there, but you have been around these creatures enough that, and it's almost like you feel strands reaching out. This guy is connected to other things, but with this, you cut those and seal it.
Ooh.
And he just like jolts back and just glares at you and goes, "Oh, I don't like how quiet that is."
They never do. And just puts hands up, pats him on top of the head, goes back, do what you gotta do.
Okay, you definitely put an accelerator on that timer. Oh. And he coughs up and he spits out this like bit of blood on the ground. Not like a lot, but just like a little bit of blood in the spit. He goes, "If you have questions."
Should we expect any more trouble from your employers?
Hold on, I need a... I don't know, Takeshi. What do you think?
Probably.
Is that the first time we've heard Takeshi?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, why go after the Yakuza?
Looking at the trees instead of the forest. The Yakuza are embarrassing to have as friends. You want to be respectable. Right. Looks to Hanzo. His eye's not leaving Hanzo as he's talking about this.
It's always hard to ask questions of someone who doesn't want to give answers.
I know, I'm not making this easy.
That's the whole point of an interrogation. It's not meant to be easy.
Winifred has one question she wants to ask, and then she's going to wander off. She's going to tap him on the shoulder and go, "Is any of this bullshit personal?"
Oh, for me? No, not at all.
For any of the people involved.
I can't ask them now, can I, Carlos?
Nope.
Well, nice
above game. Maybe it's like, should we just kill him since he knows so much?
That's up to you. It's like, nice knowing you. Hanzo's gonna figure out what she's gonna do with you.
You too, whatever. And he coughs again, and this time there is an even larger amount of blood in that he spits out.
There was a failsafe.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting you to be the one to activate it.
Before you go, just so you know, it wasn't personal for me.
Never is with the predator and their prey. I admire that.
It was a little personal for me after the fucking hole in the leg.
I think it was personal for the predator, actually. The predator seemed to have sort of a beef with Arnold at the end.
Never got around to seeing that movie. Disappointing.
Pretty good.
It wasn't bad.
And then he looks at you, Fred, for a few long seconds. He goes, "Oh, that was pretty good."
Oh my god.
No, he doesn't. But
Winifred is
well,
gonna...
since he's not going to give us any proper information, I want Winifred to be keeping the ear out for how close the authorities are.
Yeah, she's gonna wander off after, like, giving the guy, like, not a sarcastic pat on the shoulder, but kind of like, sorry, dude. And she'll wander off and go listen to see if she can hear anything.
Okay. So, as it's got on, he does seem to look like paler, if that was possible. Kind of sicker, a little bit more gaunt.
He's done.
But
yeah.
Oh, well, this isn't.
Good.
Well, I don't got nothing I could really ask.
Is there anything that you want us to know before you're gone? It's not interesting if we don't have the pieces to play.
No, but a cliffhanger should do. And he reaches and you realize his hands had been like on the dirt next to him. But then he like reaches into his pocket and almost quicker now that Winifred's not there looming over him, reaches in, pulls out a canister and then jabs it into his neck and injects it. By this point, you'd be able to grab his hand and like pull it away. Whatever the payload is been injected, but you see the remnants in it. It's that same purple. It's a familiar purple.
What if it was purple?
It's the venom.
Epiphany, as you recognize that, Hanzo.
Oh shit!
And you see him as he looks up to you. It looks, just this grin as his eyes become just rapidly bloodshot and blood starts to drip out of his ears, out of the corners of his eyes and from his nose. But he just grins at you and he goes, "He's seeing you." And then his eyes roll back and all of you feel this wave of sickness. It's not like, it just feels like this nausea just passes over you as all of a sudden the lights around the work site and the nearby street light, they pop and go out as you see Winifred. You're looking out as you see what looks to be a small localized blackout seems to have occurred centered around you. All of you are in darkness. Tommy, you and Winifred are probably the only two who can really see much, as you know. But the rest of your night vision is adjusting. The moon's out; it's kind of bright, but it's not. You have to pull out flashlights, and thankfully they seem to work. But as you look, this person is just dead.
What the fuck was he?
And
Carlos, you seemed familiar.
I don't know. I knew him from the vision that I saw from the tortoise.
Winifred,
yes.
While you're listening, you don't hear sirens yet, but you do hear what suddenly sounds like scratching, like nails on glass, quite a bit from the inside the cargo container.
Yeah, I figured there had to be something else in the cargo container too.
Yeah.
And when you go over, you realize that one of them has definitely been here longer. There's that nice layer of dust, while the other one looks, tucked away from the road. That one looks, newer, cleaner.
Yeah, she'll call back and say, "Hey, movement inside here."
Yeah, the rest of you, it's there's been like a little localized blackout, it seems.
I have my high-powered flashlight, thankfully.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you were worried that maybe these won't work, but they turn on fine. There's a little bit of flickering at the start, but they turn on.
Alright, I guess we get ready to try and contain whatever the hell gets out of that box.
Olivia's
Olivia, you left to go check the. Yeah, Olivia, you left. You didn't even see him do this, so you had left to go to the.
Right. Yeah, so everything went black in here.
Yeah, so you pop your head out. It's like, what happened?
Yeah, guys, hey, what's going on, guys?
And then that's when Winifred would say that there's sounds coming from inside.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of sound?
Glass, like nails on glass, like
so that was scratching.
Scratching.
Nope.
Nails on glass, it sounds like mostly. It's awful screechy, and I don't like it.
You pop open the cargo door. You see him laying on the ground.
Shit, did he keel over?
He did. Eyes up.
Oh, jeez. I guess we should say a few words.
God, no. He was an asshole.
Well, I mean, all the more reason. God.
Yeah?
Please, when you send this guy to hell, put it in one of the cushier sections. Try to do right by the end. Oh, what?
Sorry. Your thing, buddy.
Monsters.
Right.
So, you go over the cargo door, brace up for something, and when you crack it open, inside you see about six containers, like jars, similar to what you saw in Dr. Apostu's lab. They seem to be like stasis containers for organisms. And in two of them, the rest are empty. You see two of them, you see jack-o'-lizards that seem to have woken up and are now in a kind of claustrophobic panic trying to get out.
Yeah.
As you realize that these things are probably, because each of these have like an individual power unit, probably got turned off when whatever
Red raises his cricket bat and prepares to smash him.
No. Hold on.
It was funny. Okay. We heard you first and Scat and then...
Yeah, I know.
She's in the kitchen. She's in that weird liminal space.
Uh-huh.
I can stop that.
Yeah. It shows up, we hear it in Scatha's mic, and then your mic kicks in, but a little more garbled.
It's really weird. It should be the other way around.
Yeah.
The thunder before the lightning.
Oh, yeah. That's not... you don't need to kill these ones. They're...
tranquilizers now.
Scared, but...
Yeah. You can tell that these are pretty solid. They don't seem to be of danger of getting out, but they are kind of panicky.
Do I know, like, anything that would put them at ease?
Well, remember how Olivia's started out this adventure? She was responding to a jack-o'-lizard call at someone's house.
Oh, yeah.
You have tranquilizers.
Winifred?
What?
Think you could, calm them down a little so I can trank them?
I mean... I can try.
Like wrestling them?
I could turn into a jack-o'-lizard. I don't know how that would, like, calm them down or anything.
They would just think, hey, that guy's out of his cage, why aren't I out of mine?
Yeah, you might, agitate them a little bit. But they already seem agitated.
We should probably just keep them in the container.
Should probably just try to tranquilize them as they are. I might agitate them more by being outside.
Alright, fair enough.
And as you go inspect these containers, it seems whatever power source got disrupted, and you do see that there is like controls for like anesthetic gas, but that has been turned off. But you're not sure without the mechanisms, like what would be a safe amount. So you don't really want to try gassing them because that could be a good way of, making them sleep forever.
Oh.
But yeah,
Olivia will
with some help with
carefully-
Winifred, because she's had to deal with these before, you'd be able to hop and open up the door enough to dart them.
Right. Cool.
Yep. Yeah, they're contained. No roll needed. It was just more like, So
Calm
two
them down
jackal
before
lizards.
they had like heart attacks.
Yeah, or injured themselves against the glass.
I feel
Yeah.
like-
Hanzo, these look exactly like the jackal lizards you dealt with at the butcher shop just across the street. Like not across the street, but like down the block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More flash clones.
Yep.
See, about that time, there is a crunch of gravel under tires. No sirens. But when you look out, you see, of all people stepping out of her car, you see Sheila outside the chain link fence.
Oh.
Why don't you go talk to her?
She's like, she turned in and was like, aim. You were all in her headlights because she pulled in and like she's outside the gate, but the headlights are on and she's like, it hit you. The body, not exactly in view, but it's out in the open.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you go talk to Sheila, Olivia?
Is that her car?
Yeah, the car you saw her leaving.
Okay.
Ow.
Does she say anything when she sees us?
Yeah, she gets out of her car and she's like, Olivia, is that you? What are you all doing here?
What are you doing here?
I got another anonymous call, like, I don't know, 15 minutes ago?
That would be right before we struck, wouldn't it?
About that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, did he know we were here?
Probably he's psychic.
Or, well, she
Yeah.
goes, I got a call. Someone was wanting to come to, anonymous informant was wanting to talk to me about Florapone. They said to come out here and they said,
Oh, okay.
they had your name. They used your name, Hanzo. They said they knew you and that they couldn't go through official channels.
Yeah, no, they were
those giant scorpions. As she looks over at the scorched and speared.
No, Sheila, I don't think that was not on the up and up.
She looks at the the still padlocked chain around the gate. She goes, "Yeah, not the only thing on the up and up around here." She looks like back towards the street. She's like, "Oh, this feels very illegal to be here right now." But she's already pulling out like her little notepad and is like scribbling down things.
Yes, and it's illegal to unleash monsters too. So.
What this guy was? Is that what was happening? You want to say this guy? But...
Something was.
Yeah.
Can you let me in?
These are exact.
She's like looking for. She starts looking at the fence like.
Hole is over there.
Yeah, like oh.
Just letting the reporter in. I love this. So she goes in and.
Oh no!
She's like, steps in. She goes, but then freezes. Is anyone going to do anything about the body before I have her see this? Because
yeah, I was hoping we would. When the light's no longer on us, I'm gonna quickly.
No, the lights are on because there's no other lights beyond like flashlights.
Oh, that's...
He's leaving her card
well, I'm gonna
lights
scoop
on.
him.
I can see. I'll scoop him
up
and
while
then
she's...
fucking run.
You're taking the body away?
I'll pick him up, I'll throw him in the trailer and shut the door. I have
That works.
the speed to do that before she can actually see
Under
him.
pressure.
Can I assist with that? Because Carlos has just been kind of like quietly vibing, like, what are we going to do? Sees when if I pick it up, I guess we're tampering with evidence.
Provide distraction.
Do you want me to do this, or do you not want me to do this? Because I just let her see the dead body.
No, that's a good idea.
The only psychic here just died, so you guys... You do what you do.
Well, think about it this way. If we act suspicious, she's going to be suspicious of us.
Okay, then I'll leave the dead body there.
And
all right.
I'll have her walk in on me shutting the man's eyes, since it's not exactly pretty.
Yeah, she would walk in and see you. She goes, oh, whoa. Okay, what the...
Yeah, Livy doesn't know what happened either. Just that he's dead.
We found a way to find out where the beasts were coming from. We came here. This man was here, and he seemed to be the one overseeing it. And he just OD'd himself, so...
Oh, isn't that convenient? And she's just, like, writing it down.
Whoop.
Does she say that suspiciously?
No, like,
they haven't pointed out the epiphany, so Olivia's just... Is Olivia thinking they killed him?
No. Olivia's like... Yeah, she doesn't think they killed him.
The man was clearly dying before she left.
Yeah. He was dying when she left, because he was coughing up blood. She meant more in, like, agreeing with her, like, yeah, it sucks that he died before we could get anything from him.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if that was her being, like, shifty side-eyeing the group.
No.
So
she doesn't know he
yeah, so...
She doesn't know he OD'd, she just knows he was already dying.
Yeah, so she's writing down and she goes, okay, so... She looks at the group, she goes, I'm not surprised you're here, Hans, or you, Olivia. You radiate to trouble, but... Mr. Klutzman?
Mr. Klutzman? What the fuck are you doing here?
Hey!
God damn.
Okay. I heard that your kids were in town, so I'm going to keep your name out of this.
Oh, I'd appreciate that. Oh, fuck, I should get back to my kids.
He's gonna get up and remind me, Brain. What is her name again?
Sheila.
Sheila. I'm just gonna walk up to Sheila. Can I trust you with information that you won't immediately talk about?
Off the record, maybe. You all keep asking me. You all keep prefacing that when you're trying to inform me of things, and I'm a reporter. That's so hard to say yes to. Come on.
And is anyone going to believe you?
Your journalistic ethics.
Okay, you got me.
No one else is getting the scoop. It's a small town. Who's your competition, really?
As I was trying to say to Sheila, it's like, who is going to believe that an eclectic bunch of locals have been traveling together in a mob, trying to do the right thing?
Kind of narrows her eyes at you, and she goes, right, the whole truth is stranger than fiction thing. Okay.
Word again, journalistic ethics.
So, this kid was somehow the mastermind of the mole tortoise and the mosquitoes and those things.
Not mastermind. He was...
Conductor?
He was working on behalf of someone else that he obviously did not want to spill his guts over. But he was directing the animals.
How? They're animals.
We live in strange times with strange science, miss.
Uh-huh.
I forget, did she know? Did I tell her that the mole tortoise was cloned?
Believe so, yeah. It wasn't mentioned in the article that she wrote.
Did we tell her that it was a Republican?
God.
I mean, yeah. Would you have expected a flash cloned mole tortoise? Yes, a few days ago, Sheila.
I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, I'll be honest.
You don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
No, this man is... Though we tried to get any and all information out of him, he didn't offer very much. So we're effectively back at square one.
And then he killed himself.
And then he killed himself, yes. Fried his own brain.
That is... Wait, what do you mean fried his own brain?
You know, he'll make a gesture of, like, taking a vial. You know.
No. You know what it was?
Did he have like
It looked like Epiphany to me.
Yeah, that would do it. A high enough dose of that would cook anyone's brain. And what I'm afraid it's about now that you would start hearing sirens. But you realize they're not coming towards here. It seems like they're responding to the, like, maybe accidents that happen because of the blackout.
Mm-hmm. So that's an incentive to wrap up.
Yeah, before we have to scram, can I investigate the place he was in?
Yeah. Investigate a mystery.
Wow.
Big success.
I was about to ask if I could help because I can see and you can't.
Sure.
You already rolled, so.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, go. You roll too.
Yeah, roll help out.
Help out. There we go. You're not getting anything, so.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I don't know how you expose yourself to danger or trouble, but
we just don't.
Another scorpion.
It's still a mixed success, Olivia.
Yeah.
You get one question. Is it? And you're trying to search the thing, so I'm going to guess is what is being concealed here.
Yeah.
With the relevant questions.
Like grab anything that looks important.
Okay. As you go through it, you find a lot of what Tommy found was just like snacks for someone hiding out, or food and supplies for someone who's been like hiding out here. But in one of the like prefabricated, actually there would be like a little mini fridge that's there, like where you found some of the food and stuff. It's turned off now because of the generator that was powering this place got knocked out, or whatever line it was, landline it was connected to. But inside the freezer, you move. Or actually, there wouldn't be anything hiding it in the freezer. Not like Hanzo's, not like the guy. But you reach inside and pull out. Actually, yeah, you found 2 containers of it.
Oh God! She pulls it out.
Hefty doses, like much higher doses than the individual vials you saw. Not the same kind of like construction that you saw, like the Dr. Porter specials. No, Porter specials. But but it seems like a different manufacturer. These seem a little more. Those seem more like homemade, illegally made. But these ones seem like, these were like tooled for this. You don't know if these are repurposed for like other injectors of medicines or chemicals or whatever. But the dosages of these, you realize they can't be adjusted, so it's one all at once, and it is a lot.
Oh boy! Well, I'm gonna take them.
Getting your fingerprints all over the can?
Okay, to be clear, I have gloves.
So, yeah, but inside you also scoop up some papers that might need to be some more thorough work. There's like a spiral notebook that's basically, you flip through and it's just like, you actually do notice. What's that?
We could give this to the Falcon Lake witness.
Yeah. When you open it up, you do see what's like. It looks like someone keeping a log, where you see it's like, it was like, Hanzo, how many jack-o'-lizards did you deal with? 4, right?
Something like that. There was a few of them, and there was a big one.
Yeah, it was. You see on this, it's like you see a date and a time. It's like JX4, or J's X4 released. Agent Hanzo's and Wakefield's responded. And, that was like one of the first things you notice, and then you like start skimming through it, and there's like being a little more things, but it's a log of, you start seeing like,
the time
like
the animals
Hunter Scorpions compromised at the car wash. Right? It says HS compromised car wash. It's like not full shorthand, but like abbreviations that will probably take some time to like look over when you're not reading this by flashlight.
Yeah. Well, all right. Yoink. She'll peek her head out. Okay, I think it's time we go.
And actually, there would be like random little doodles. It, like not like detailed, but just like little like hatch marks, or just like some looked like they were bored. Just like, here's some spirals. Here's some hatch marks. Oh, looks like he lost playing tic-tac-toe against himself. A couple times, that kind of thing. But then there's this one that's a little bit more detailed as you flip it open, and it's Winifred, this is weird. Olivia, this is weird. You see what looks to be like a goat on its side, and it has been disemboweled. And this is like drawn in pencil. This isn't like a photo. It just looks like a goat on its side with its intestines ripped out, and you're just like, oh, what the fuck? And then you flip the page, and it's back to like the logs.
Yeah, fuck this guy, Winifred.
Well, he did that for us, so.
I don't like this.
Nope. The two of you kind of rolled the place. You find the epiphany in this little notebook. Beyond just like random food stuff he had, there's nothing really else there. Not even like a.
What was
well, actually, no. There would be a very blocky cell phone. One of the early cell phones. But it has also been fried.
Ah, fuck! Oh, like, I'm taking it anyway.
So you're like, oh, this might be how he was calling in all those. Yeah, it's like one of those ones that you could bludgeon someone to death with.
Good. I have a new weapon. Cool.
But these aren't cheap. This is a kind of pricey. But then again, the Epiphany contained in one of those, that would be, yeah.
And I'm gonna get the Falcon Lake Witness to look at the cell phone, see if they can get anything off of it, and then I want to use it for my damn self.
But so okay, yeah, with the damaged cell phone, and so what are the rest of you doing with Sheila and the body?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my brain back into gear.
You should probably check if he has anything else on him.
It's just like, oh, brain. It's hard to sound smart when you're not naturally a smart human being.
Oh, mood. I mean, I'm the one who keeps throwing scientists and stuff at you, and I have to act like I know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia's smarter than I am.
Yep.
So, well,
the
truth
is, Sheila, we genuinely don't know what's going on.
I believe you, because this has corporate conspiracy written all over it.
Yes, and what little we could get out of him, apparently it's none of the usual suspects.
That's... Well, I mean, Claripotent doesn't have a lack of competitors.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to flash clone things and that not all the competitors have that, but the technology is out there. So, shrugs. I mean, I've heard of black market cloned organs, the organ trade. That's becoming a problem.
Whatever it is was going on here, my concern was stopping the animal attacks.
That's fair. So I was actually going to ask, are you going to report this to your bosses first or the cops? Because I've noticed things tend to get handled differently depending on who's a first responder. And since you were, no offense, kind of leashed to Claripotent, I may not want to be here until the cops show up.
Yes, that's the problem, isn't it? Obviously, it's better that Pluripotent and the police do not learn that everyone else here who has no business here investigating this sort of thing is a part of it. But then it's going to be very hard to believe that I did all of this on my own.
Yeah, I notice your partner's not here.
No, she's not. We needed to jump on this lead as soon as we could.
So, this is quite a bit.
Tell me about it.
So, Shady.
Yo.
Since you're back, and it's probably just been kind of hanging out. Not really. Have you been looking around, or are you just kind of standing around to help out if you need to? Just trying to see if you've been near the body.
Did Winifred book it with the body?
No, I left it there.
No, it's...
Yeah, Sheila saw it, and they told her that he OD'd rather than be captured.
Yeah, then Tommy's just been sort of chilling there.
So I mean, since you would have the nose for this, there's been a lingering smell ever since he injected himself. And I'm not trying to be gross. I don't mean the smell of a person dying, but I mean there's this. No, it smells like when you've been near when you've traveled. You were never super close to when a lightning strike happened, but you've been in plenty of lightning storms and seen them pass, and actually been probably by a few electrical fires. There's like a hint of ozone.
Ew.
Like charged particles in the air.
Should we clear the area, do you think?
None of the rest of you detect this, but it's like
yes.
kind of just.
I'm bringing it up to Tommy to think, is like, would he think there is danger?
Yeah, Tommy, you thought maybe at first it might have been from like whatever happened with the power, but you realize it's kind of still lingering.
Is it getting stronger?
No, it's actually kind of dissipating now that you've paid attention to it. Like the burst was right around when he died, and there was that burst of whatever energy rippled out from him. But it's kind of lingered since then, but it does seem to be getting weaker. In the moment you thought, okay, maybe that's just the sound of or the smell of like a transformer overloading, but you realize that the guy's head is the source of that.
It's probably all that other shit that's in his brain.
So guys, I'm smelling ozone, and it's kind of been there, kind of dissipating right now, but really spiked when he offed himself.
Hanzo, that rings a bell. Detective Bentley approached you because of the previous Epiphany situation and mentioned a case that went on a while back that his father actually dealt with when he was a cop.
A serial killer, wasn't it?
No.
No.
A mass suicide.
Mass suicide, yeah.
The Church of Cosmic Reunification. It seemed they committed mass suicide through Epiphany overdose, as one of the details that was mentioned in the report, and by because Detective Bentley said he talked to one of the old retired detectives that was part of the case, and said that there was a heavy smell of ozone that the first responders detected around the all the bodies.
Yeah, he thinks about it for a second. It's like, doesn't the human brain use electricity to sense its signals?
Yeah, why?
The man just supercharged his brain to the point of dying.
And Olivia, you're just like, you look down at the Epiphany in your hand.
No, she has put that in her pack.
Yeah. Okay. So you think you just immediately think about the Epiphany in your pack?
Yeah. All right. What are we doing?
I don't know.
And she was just like, well, I'm sorry.
Well, I think we should get out of here now. The cops will find it. We can maybe even put in a anonymous report.
A lot of those.
I don't really want to get yeah.
But
I really don't want to get brought in by the cops.
The best thing to do right now is just to leave the scene.
It's like, points at Sheila. She's not supposed to be here.
None of us are supposed to be here.
Yeah.
If any of my superiors asked me how I even came to this lead, I couldn't tell them anything.
Yeah, how did you?
Oh, fucking
we would tell
damn it,
you,
but
I would tell you, but you wouldn't believe me.
There you go.
I can believe some outlandish things, so I'll just, if anyone questions me, I'll just say that you received your own confidential informant.
It's not his thing to tell.
Exactly.
It's not mine.
Confidential details. Okay. Yeah. So let's go. Let's get out of here before the sirens get closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I heard someone firing off bottle rockets.
Oh, that was me.
She's just like,
Sing it, Fred.
Silence.
Just sort of practicing, you know.
she kind of looks at you and then like nods as if understanding. He's like, oh right, probably trying to prep his kids, I guess. But so, do you all depart?
Yep.
Yes. In the words of famous people, run away, run away,
Run away, run away.
So you head back to your vehicles, back out the hole in the fence. Sheila looks to you, Olivia. She goes, "You okay there?" Points to where your shoulder's still bleeding. Yeah, it's not like gushing blood, but it's slowed down. But it's still, a wound.
Yeah, not great, but it's not anything fatal.
Let's hope they can't chase you by that. Let's get out of here.
What? Hold on.
Blood at a crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
Stops. All right, hold on. She goes back real quick. Lights up on fire wherever blood was spilled.
Oh God. And you don't hear that, and she's just like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that level of tampering with this crime scene. Okay, let's go." She didn't say that around you, Olivia. She just said that as your. Yeah, that's fair. Oh,
I don't want to get grabbed by the cops.
And there was, when you were pouring through it, Olivia, you found no evidence of any sample of your blood or any samples of other blood.
Ah, damn it.
You don't know if you were just, a quick bite for the mosquito or what.
One more thing.
One last. Does he have anything in his pocket? Pockets?
Nope.
Okay.
Not really. Like when you pat him down, he has a cheap wristwatch. He had a wallet, no ID, but there is like $20 in cash in there. And
I'm not gonna take $20 off a
he
again.
Yeah, he has like a pencil that he was probably drawing with, but other than that, no.
All right.
Frustratingly little details, and like when you look, like the rest of you, like this guy when you like, especially you, Winifred, when you tackled him and hauled him around by his neck, didn't seem like he had any tattoos or anything. No identifying marks. But
this man is white bread.
A complete mystery who this guy was, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's clear the scene then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you get to your car, Hanzo, you see that there is a light, the message light blinking. Oh wait, I just realized because of daylight savings, are we almost at?
No.
It's
we might
9.
be at
it's 9.
Shady Cinderella hour.
Yeah, it's 10, almost 10:30 for me.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what time because it used to be 8:30 my time, but it's almost 7:20 now for me. So
it's 10:19 for me.
Yeah, and for me.
So are we ending at 10:30?
You guys can keep going if you want to go on without me.
Because this is pretty much the mystery's been solved. Denouement moment, but I just wanted to. I was just trying to decide if we wanted to do a whole nother session for like a denouement before getting into the next one, or just we do wrap up stuff at the end here.
I
wouldn't mind a denouement session.
That would give me, more time to work on it, even with the every other week. But okay, so can still do a little bit now though.
Yeah, because this is only about like 2 hours in.
It's 3, almost.
Almost 3.
Yeah, because we started at 4:30 my time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do see that you have a message waiting for you, Hanzo, on your car phone.
Click.
Hanzo, Agent Wakefield here. Been following leads, talking to people who, asking questions of people who don't answer questions of, well, like our friend the detective. But I'll give you more details on it. But my guess is whoever paid the flunkies to set up that drug lab was also the one who sent the scorpions after them. I think I've got a description. Keep an eye out for bald white male, early 20s, brown eyes, nondescript, no noticeable tattoos or anything. Tell me if you have any details of your own. Click.
Mm-hmm.
She basically described who.
Boy.
Yeah, well, not much you can do about that now.
You all head back to the diner to recover Fred's kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Olivia covers up the blood.
Yeah, Hanzo might be able to patch you up when you get away from the crime scene.
Yeah.
So you drive off, and the blackout area doesn't seem to have been too big. You're thankful your vehicles seem to have been unaffected. Seems to have been like things that were currently powered were the things affected. The things that were turned off were unaffected, so you're able to drive off without much concern besides the moment when an ambulance drives past you going the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
But you gather at not Fred's, at Carlos's diner, the Greasy Spoon, and Fred, you see your kids are there. Alex is halfway through an oversized burger as Tiffany's partway through a burrito.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they perk up when they see you step in. And Fred, thankfully, you got out of that unharmed. All right, no, they got your leg.
Yeah, a little bit. I got a little harmed. It's fine.
Before you go in, do you want Hanzo to patch that up for you?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, please.
He'll take the time to do it well.
Yeah, yeah. So it doesn't look like your leg got slashed, nor just looks like you might have torn your pant leg. But so yeah, go ahead and roll for that. We can say that's for.
It's always a risk to do that.
Please don't fuck up my leg more.
Harm. Yes.
Please just wrap it with bandages that I can hide under a sock.
I'm tempted to say this will also be your roll for Olivia's wound.
She's gonna she'd brush him off.
No,
yeah, heal 2 harm and stabilize an injury, so should be fine.
Yep, both of you are patched up.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was a bloody wound, not a very deep wound.
No lizard parts required this time.
What?
Remember that time they injected me with lizard skin to make me heal?
That wasn't lizard skin.
And they sprayed it on.
Yeah, that wasn't lizard skin. And also they sprayed it on.
Well, we remember things differently.
I remember them correctly.
Perhaps.
So,
likely, even.
As the bell dings as you walk inside. So, kids seem, when you speak. Hey, Dad. You all weren't gone super long. It seems like they actually it's like she's like, we actually decided to eat first before we went to the arcade. And Alex is like, you want to go with us?
Yeah.
So he seems excited about that.
Aww.
So,
I hide my limp.
Yeah. Like Tiffany's like, oh, Dad, I think you tore your pant leg. But otherwise doesn't pay much attention to it. But yeah, so the rest of you, maybe kind of contemplating what happened. You saw a man die right in front of you by maybe his own hands, you're not sure. But the yeah, you can order, some food, kind of sit there if you want to discuss away from the kids. We have a few minutes left if you want to just discuss a bit, and we'll probably do a denouement next time. But yeah, if anybody has some immediate things you want to chat about before we end, go ahead.
Flops down into a seat. What the fuck, guys?
Winifred is really callous about it. She's like, well, shrug.
I thought you were going to make a joke. It's like I just ate, but I feel like I could go for some more.
You seem completely unfazed.
I eat people.
That's fair.
She's like, why the hell would I be fazed by that? I literally had to murder people to live.
Dragon Ball Z fan. Bitch, I hate people!
Classic bitch, I drink people moment.
Carlos.
Yeah, what's up?
I just wanted to reiterate something. Because you did not fail. You actually rolled very well for the magic. When you cut off his link was, or blocked his psychic powers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably be Hanzo, or not Hanzo, Carlos thinking about it. Sorry, your names are right next to each other on the list. But thinking about it, you realize he was already in, like, when you felt through his mind, you realize that some of the oddities were it is because his brain was already in the state of damage.
Probably from taking Epiphany
and
shit.
That he was probably already, not doing so well before you cut off the link. You don't know if he had a failsafe or what, but you're pretty certain that he was already on the way to dying before you.
All right, yeah. Hanzo's sitting there in complete silence. He's thinking, "What if he was a flash clone human?"
He didn't taste right.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Would that change the taste? She makes a face.
Yeah, Winifred, that would be a big shrug on your end. You've never had Flash Clone.
I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you that for some reason he did not
Flash Clone, fast food.
I couldn't tell you for sure if it was because he was Flash cloned or whatever. But I can tell you that he did not taste right. I've eaten enough people to tell you that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy says he didn't smell right.
Mm-hmm.
Had the ozone smell too.
I'll be honest, he seemed like a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, you said he had 2 hearts, right?
Yeah, he had 2 heartbeats.
Yeah, so Tommy,
Yo.
With the smell that you track the Strigoi and the hunter scorpions and carnivore from, that is that very specific chemical smell of the biomimetic fluid that is used to create chimeras and such, and can be used for cloning. But from what you never encountered the malt tortoise in person, but you were there when they had the spike, and I think you might have been there at the like the first appearance with the sinkholes. But them and the jackal lizards that were actually in the containers, they didn't have that same smell. So you're not sure if clones would smell the same as a homunculus. Might be a different process. Because homunculi, they're a very intense, they have to be designed from the beginning. Clones, you're like, okay, here's the template, and you can let the process just grow something.
Gotcha.
So I just want to say, yeah, when in mentioning the smells, Tommy, you're like, you wouldn't be able to 100% sure by smell alone if he was a clone or not.
Gotcha.
Olivia pulls out the notebook.
Has that even theoretically been proven possible with common knowledge?
Oh, human cloning is
Fully
definitely
human
possible.
Cloning.
It's highly illegal. It was one of the first things banned once cloning technology was becoming commercialized. But full thinking humans, extremely illegal. International courts kind of level stuff. But the growing of human tissues and like organs for organ donations and stuff, that can be done. That's done, pretty regularly, and it's actually like one of Pluripotent's main things is there's a whole division to just cloning replacement organs for. It's like, oh, this person needs a replacement organ. We'll clone it from their own sample, so there's no chance of rejection.
So yeah, he'll follow up on that. Sorry, go on.
Somewhere there's an unethical organization that's skirting laws with a whole bunch of cloned Freds that they harvest for organs.
But yeah, he'll continue along that thought line. Think about it. If this person was a flash-cloned human, he comes from nowhere, has no attachments that would otherwise pull away from his duties, and just like the animals, when he served his purpose, he terminates. Very few threads to lead back to the source.
I don't have anything to counter that. I just don't like it.
I would like to think that you weren't right, but I've seen way too many screwed up things in this world to say no, nobody would do that.
Also, whoever you worked for knows who we are very explicitly.
Indeed.
Livy, you said you pulled out the notebook?
Yeah, she'll pull out the notebook and put it on the table.
This isn't a time for a romance movie.
Shady.
Don't worry, that hasn't come out yet. We are free of that horror.
Is that a bad movie?
I don't know. I've never watched it. It's just everyone loves it.
This was in his cabin.
Hand it over, please.
Scott. Yeah, she does.
You'll start
Scott,
reading and flipping through it.
Yeah, you see that flipping through it, it's a log of like detailing the random events happening throughout. And yeah, it seems whoever this was there at every point. Like they say the reporter survived when the Olivia showed up. Didn't notice me out in the parking lot, thankfully. Managed to get away. Left before they could notice me. Retrieved sample.
Damn it.
And then, it's like talking about the Kanzaki survived, was envenomed but survived. Agent Hanzo appeared and detailing it. It's just like literally whoever this was observing most of you throughout this whole thing. But some of the accounts are as if they were watching through the Strigoi and not nearby, but they see other times they said that they were nearby and had to keep a low profile. And other time, other notes is just like went out to get more food, liking this thing coffee.
Yeah, that you'll tap right there is like more evidence for that.
And you flip to that page where you see the disemboweled goat.
Yeah, it's like before you flip, it's like, watch out, be careful. That one, it'll get you.
And
it's graphic, but he doesn't exactly flinch at it.
Let's see. Who among you do you think would have something of knowledge of like Greek stuff? Winifred, I would say might be able to recall something of this.
Not me.
Possibly, yeah.
Fred has weird knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he works at a museum.
Of many things.
Yeah, I'll ask the Freds. Tommy, you might also, just for weird reasons. Maybe
Carlos might too.
Buried memories. Actually, Carlos. Yes, Carlos, you would be the one perfectly for this. And if anyone can guess this, what is the ritual that is performed when an animal is disemboweled and the future is read from their entrails?
Mm-hmm.
Usually scrying.
Yep.
There's a specific word.
Specific, yeah.
And it was mentioned before by someone as
anthropomancy, I think it is.
Maybe, but it was actually mentioned briefly by one of the many competitors of Pluripotent, and we'll leave this as the stinger, as Carlos and maybe Winifred, you might recognize this. You're old enough to recognize like old terms such as this. I don't know if you're around when this was in practice, but Haruspex.
Yeah, that's it.
A Haruspex is a prophet who disembowels an animal and reads the entrails. Yeah. Typically a goat in Greek times.
Yeah.
And a Haruspex Pharmaceuticals was mentioned as one of the many competitors of Pluripotent lobbying for control of the soup organism, or access, not control. But
well, fuck, we have our perpetrators.
Perhaps.
Perchance.
This is all circumstantial evidence, of course, but
maybe he thinks chupacabras are cool. Thought about that?
Chupacabras don't disembowel.
But they eat goats. Yeah, Carlos, this is a type of this isn't a magic that's commonly practiced anymore.
Carlos would lean over and just be like, if that's a Haruspex, that's some old shit. Like,
it's a what?
Haruspex. Ancient Greek prophets would use it to define the future via the entrails of a goat. Violence for violence and veils of violence of the future is kind of a thing. But
Haruspex?
Yeah. Haruspex. Yeah, like
hey, wait.
You sacrifice a goat, you cut open its guts, and you see what the future brings from that.
Carlos, isn't there a competitor for Pluripotent called Haruspex?
Hanzo, you've definitely heard that.
Mm-hmm. Fuck if I know, I just feed the people who come into my diner.
Yeah, Hanzo just gives Olivia a look of
like acknowledgement, like
yeah, it's a look of acknowledgement. It's like, why'd you ask him?
I'm the one talking.
He was the one who saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you asked a pluripotent question you directed a pluripotent question towards someone who knows not much about pluripotent.
But to be fair, a company is common knowledge.
Yeah, but are you in the shit who would know all the competitors?
I don't. Why would I know about various pharmaceutical companies? But
I don't know what you're into.
I'm trying to bully Nora.
You're bullying Nora successfully.
No.
Yes.
No.
Now, maybe it was just a double entendre to use of that, but the fact that they left this, I do not like, because Haruspex is old shit. Old shit. It's not something somebody just casually does anymore.
Well, this is just a drawing.
Hanzo. This might be more appropriate for Datama connection plotting, but again, harkening back to the report of what Dr. Bentley told you about the mass suicide of the Church of Cosmic Reunification. Part of their belief was that the secret to the universe could be learned from the superorganism if only humanity could learn how to communicate with it. And that they said that they had something of a prophecy about how it can be used to determine the course of the future. Which,
thinking about it, I'm just standing there for. Although I'm not denying the existence of actual magic, that follows no realistic logic. Epiphany allows
how the wizard magic doesn't exist.
Supercharge your brain. The superorganism, of course, is the largest creature in the world. And it's said that our brains are very much like computers.
Yeah.
If you have a computer crunching numbers, a large enough computer crunching enough numbers, it might be able to not necessarily predict the future, but include the future in its calculations. Do you understand what I mean?
Not predicting it, but calculating the likely possibilities?
Basically, well, think about it this way. Everything that happens in this world is the result of a cause, effect. If you're smart enough, and you have the open mind for it, you can just keep reading the cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, until effectively to others you seem prescient. When all you're doing is looking at the numbers.
Alright.
That would explain the use of epiphany.
I guess.
And we have encountered meat computers. I have the Falcon State Witness guys, going through Dr. Apostle's old stuff.
Wait, yeah, what happens if you put epiphany in one of those?
Something that's probably a lot smarter than a person.
You don't need to recreate the... Hold on a second, let me look up something real quick.
Butterfred, you know that Olivia is now carrying not a child, but Epiphany.
Yeah.
Har.
Yeah, one of the cloned organs was a womb, I guess.
No.
I don't want to see what happens when you give the meat machine the drug that makes you think smarter. Terminator was a scary enough movie when computers were just metal.
But think about it this way.
If you were able to crunch all that,
if you were able to crunch all those numbers, you could effectively be exactly where you need to be at exactly the right time. This man kept very thorough, very complete notes.
Or someone did and shared
know,
the notes because he was
feels-
connected.
That feels... I don't want to say
Existentially
impossible.
terrifying.
I mean, kinda. But he also took someone and killed him.
That was Epiphany.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Personally, I'm still upset about the fact that after I terminated the thing in his brain, he went, "Oh, I don't like this quiet." That implies people were chatting in his brain.
I was hoping you'd pick up on that comment.
Mm-hmm. If the man truly was psychic.
Oh, one, that means there's more.
Well, he also did seem to know things about the people immediately around him.
Mm-hmm.
They've also got profiles on all of us in more detail than should be in a company record.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
So, nice little mystery for you all.
We've got no answers, just more mysteries.
Yeah, I think we can do some more discussion next time because we are a bit past Cinderella time. Thank you, Shady, for sticking around. But I have something of a minor little stinger just to throw in here just for the ending. As you are,
stinger, jeez.
Huh? Oh, no more stingers.
Stinger, jeez.
Yeah. Oh, so I will point out that you could probably guess that what the Strigoi were injecting when they would envenom someone was perhaps some hunter scorpion venom.
Yeah.
Makes sense, because you could load them up with anything, including medicine.
Yep, except for the thing that Kanzaki got hit with. That was different than what you all got hit with. That was, as you guessed, and what the Clarpon unit said, medical unit said. It was designed to look like anaphylaxis, anaphylactic reaction. But anyways, so as you are all discussing this and speculating, you pause as dinner's brought to you. You ordered at some point, and now the night waitress is bringing you your food. But you're there with the mysteries, try to figure things out. As across town, outside of town, actually, under the partially full moon, a figure stretches as they step up onto the edge of a small cliff-like stack of rocks out in the mountains, as their arms stretch out, wings or fingers stretching out, popping as they grunt and strain as arms turn to wings, leather-like webbing stretching between elongated fingers as this figure struggles with the transformation of becoming a man, turning into something like a bat before they leap into the air, lit only by the moon. And that's where we'll end for the night.
Hey, look, it's the dude who stole your fucking meal.